Chapter 1328. The man who took the arrow. Not only could the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet be used for battle and defense, it could also be used to capture people. In the future, Qin Yun will have to enter the immortal Xian Desert. He will encounter powerful inscription beasts. If he had a powerful defensive tool, he would be even safer in the immortal Xian Desert. When he reforged the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet, he would make some modifications to it, adding some more useful abilities. I wonder if Shui Ru will have time to come and help. Qin Yun took out a small box and looked at the divine iron powder inside. What made him feel somewhat regretful was that Yang Yang was in a deep slumber. If he had Yang Yang's flame to help him, it would definitely be much better. Also, he had taken out the heavenly lion dragon suppression cauldron to block the star monkey, but it had been cracked and would need some time to repair itself. Xiao Yun, didn't you absorb and store a large amount of sun fire in the fourth pearl of the nine sun divine spirit? Ling Yun said with a smile. The sun fire condensed by the altar is still very strong. Yes. Qin Yun immediately looked at the nine sun divine soul's fourth pearl. Although the sun fire inside is not as strong as Yang Yang's, it is enough. You have a strong mental force and can control the sun's fire. Besides, don't you still have a nine-sun divine soul? With this kind of divine tool, you can easily control the sun fire. Ling Yun said again. Using the sun fire to burn the divine iron powder shouldn't be a problem, right? Qin Yun nodded. Wait for me to organize my thoughts on refining the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Then I will immediately begin refining it. He planned to use the materials he had collected to refine an even stronger heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. At the very least, it will be able to withstand the power of the star monkey. Even if it's Qiao Tianqu's attack, I have to block it. Qin Yun said in his heart, and then let Mo come out. Back then, Mo recorded the runes of the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Moreover, Mo also recorded all kinds of powerful runes. In addition, he also planned to let Mo evolve the star runes, moon runes, and sun runes that she had mastered. Mo, I'll have to trouble you next. Qin Yun looked at Mo, who was sitting on an immortal fruit, and said with a smile, I spent a lot of time playing. It's nothing to suddenly work a little harder. Mo smiled sweetly. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud divine needle and carved out some of the star runes, moon runes, and sun runes he had mastered for Mo to evolve. The death of the lion head in the profound immortal desert was quickly forgotten by everyone. And now, everyone was focused on the sun-suppressing divine arrow, as well as the situation of the various sun altars. There were 9 sun altars, and the places they landed on were all extremely dangerous. Now, everyone only knew that a city was being built near the altar in the mysterious immortal desert. It was called the Great Desert Holy City. The city lord of Grand Desert Sacred City was Qiao Tianqiu. The holy city of Great Desert welcomed formidable ascendant immortals. Additionally, there was a clear rule stating that only ascendant immortals could enter the city. The recording of Qiao Tianqiu's speech was also circulated on the magic mirror. He mainly said that the exalted immortals who entered the Great Desert Sacred City would have the opportunity to obtain a sacred desolate cultivation technique and cultivate a sacred body and sacred soul. The most attractive thing was that as long as one contributed, they would be able to obtain the divine liquid, or even the sacred desolate's powerful magic tools. Many exalted immortals in the immortal desolate heard the news from the devil mirror and became restless. They wanted to rush over. Meanwhile, the Luo clan, the Xinyuan clan, and many other clans, large and small, were constantly spreading the news, saying that Qiao Tianqiu and his group were ruthless and had intentionally lured people over as sacrifices. The video of Pan Shangshi massacring hundreds of exalted immortals also spread. Many people are very vigilant towards the Great Desert Sacred City. However, Yu Zuoquan, Lan Bufan, and others all guaranteed that the Great Desert Sacred City is very safe. Especially Yu Zuoquan. He even said that he cultivated a sacred body and displayed that powerful sacred body. Apart from this, several immortal emperors were also bribed by Xiao Tianshu. They all spread the news on the Devil Mirror, guaranteeing that the great desert sacred city is safe. The exalted immortals of the immortal desolate are at a loss regarding all kinds of news. Although they know that Xiao Tianshu is using them, they can't resist the temptation. Many exalted immortals form teams to enter the great desert sacred city. The matter of the inscription beasts gradually spread throughout the immortal desolate. Originally, many inscription beasts hid inside the Sun Divine Stone's holy land, but from time to time, they would run out. There are also some inscription beasts that occupied some Sun Divine Stone's divine mountains, forests, lakes, and so on. They established their own power on them. They recruited immortal beasts and immortals to develop their own power. For example, the Xian Tiger King was the first to do this. Later on, many peaceful inscription beasts followed suit. There are also other major events that shook the immortal desolate. Even the hidden inscription clans began to build momentum and gradually became known by people. There are several inscription clans, and the Shiman clan is one of them. In order to build momentum, the Shiman clan publicly announced on the Devil Mirror that they have subdued more than 10 inscription beasts. Those inscription beasts look mighty and powerful. Just by looking at them from the Devil Mirror, one can feel a very powerful aura. Because the Shiman clan has subdued so many inscription beasts over the years, many people respect this clan very much. They are listed as a powerful clan like immortal clans. And the Shiman clan also wants to establish their own power and recruit all kinds of experts. Their main goal is to find and subdue inscription beasts. The Shiman clan also openly ridiculed Great Desert Sacred City's Xiao Tianshu, saying that sacred desolate people don't understand inscription beasts and don't know how to subdue them. They only want to recruit more people to die. This month, Qin Yin did not pay much attention to the news on the Devil Mirror. When he had time, he activated the Devil Mirror and was immediately shocked by all kinds of news. There are a total of 4 hidden inscription clans: Shiman clan, Qin clan, Shao clan, and Qi clan. Qin Yin looked at the news and inexplicably thought of the mortal land he was born in. Because back then, there were also Qin clan, Shao clan, and Qi clan in that mortal land. Is there any connection? Ling Yun'er said, Shao Yun, the mortal land you were born in is separated by the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. There must be some secret hidden there. Moreover, the people in that mortal land are all descendants of the people who built the immortal graveyard. Constructing the immortal graveyard definitely requires many inscription masters. And among the few hidden inscription clans in the immortal desolate, there are Qi clan, Shao clan, and Qin clan. After I recover the memories of my previous life, these mysteries might be solved. Qin Yin continued to read all kinds of news. The Shiman clan, Luo clan, and Xianyuan clan have joined forces to study how to subdue more inscription beasts. During this month, Qin Yin and Mo have been evolving the runes. They have yet to begin refining the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Mo, I didn't expect you to be able to evolve runes so quickly. I thought you could only evolve totem runes quickly. Qin Yin put away the Devil Mirror and said with a smile, As I improve, my ability will become stronger and stronger. Mo said with a charming smile, Big Brother has never let me starve. That's why I can become stronger. Back then, when Qin Yin bought Mo, she was worried that she would be hungry and cry. At that time, she felt very uncomfortable because of hunger. At that time, Qin Yin also did not expect that this lovable little fairy would bring such a huge surprise to people. Not only can she repair runes and see through dark runes, she can also evolve rune totems. The star, moon, and sun runes that Qin Yin mastered have now evolved into immortal tier star, moon, and sun runes. Mo now has many good things to eat. They are all used to replenish energy. As long as she can eat her fill, it is a wonderful enjoyment for her. Qin Yin integrated the evolved runes and prepared to refine an even stronger Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. The Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron has repaired itself. I won't dare to use it carelessly in the future. If it breaks, it will be gone. Qin Yun took out the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and lightly sighed. If he wants to refine tools, it would be best to burn the materials inside the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. Now, he poured in many immortal beast bones, immortal iron, and immortal king beast horn. That immortal king beast horn is very formidable. It pierced the blue snake until it screamed and screamed. Qin Yun looked at the immortal king beast horn and recalled that the blue snake gall he ate is still inside the nether sun. During this period of time, he's been absorbing the power inside the nether sun from time to time to increase his cultivation. Start putting in divine iron powder. I hope that evil god didn't swindle me. Qin Yun poured the divine iron powder into the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. Then he released the sun fire from the fourth pearl of the nine sun divine soul. The sun fire poured into the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and strengthened by all kinds of runes and totems inside the cauldron. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud divine needle and controlled it to mix the materials inside the cauldron. Xiao Yun, how long can the core fragment allow the nine sun divine hammer to revive? If the time is too short, it might affect you. Ling Yuner said, if the nine sun divine hammer doesn't have enough time, I can only use other hammers to replace it. The effect will be a bit worse. Qin Yun doesn't know how long the nine sun divine hammer can last. He can only gamble. While he is mixing the materials inside the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron, Qin Yun's devil mirror suddenly vibrated fiercely. It is Xian Rujing who sent a message. Normally, devil mirror vibrates fiercely when there is urgent news. Qin Yun promptly opened the devil mirror and asked, Rujing, what's the matter? Xiao Yun, one of the sun-suppressing divine arrows has been snatched away. Xian Rujing yelled in amazement. What? Who snatched it away? Qin Yun has been refining materials all along. He did not pay attention to the devil mirror's message. He is also very shocked after hearing this news. I don't know that guy's name. I only know that his cultivation is not high. He is only an immortal king. Earlier, he was besieged by immortal desolate great emperor and devil immortal great emperor. Yet he was able to escape, and now he is being chased by these two great emperors. Xian Rujing very disdainfully said, these two great emperors denied that they did not attack Netherworld Great Emperor, but now they can't bear to see someone else obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow and directly attack to snatch it away. Qin Yun really did not expect that someone in Immortal Desolate would possess Sun Core. Oh, that's right, Xiao Yun. The guy who snatched the sun-suppressing divine arrow calls himself Nine Extinction Sect Master. I remember that you cultivate Nine Extinction Heart Sutra. Do you know that guy? Xian Rujing asked. Qin Yun is even more shocked. He is completely dumbstruck by this news. Nine Extinction Sect Master is the sect master of Nine Extinction Mysterious Gate, Wei Zhongjing. Wei Zhongjing said that he wanted to find the other parts of Nine Extinction Heart Sutra, and then there was no news of him. Chapter 1329. New magic sealing bell. Qin Yun held the magic mirror and sank into his memories. He recalled Wei Zhongjing's matter. He had thought that he would never see Wei Zhongjing, the good headmaster, again. He did not expect to suddenly hear news of him. Xian Rujing shouted a few times and pulled Qin Yun back from his contemplation. You know Sect Master Jiuju? Xian Rujing very excitedly said. Can you contact him and ask him how he took the sun-suppressing divine arrow? He might have forgotten me. He was my sect master back then, and I am indebted to him. Very good to me. Qin Yun let out a long sigh. You actually know such a powerful person. A large group of immortal emperors and two grand emperors were unable to take the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Even those stinky dragons that suddenly appeared could only circle around the tip of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. That Nine Extinction Sect Master easily took away a sun-suppressing divine arrow and used it to break through the siege. Xian Rujing said, Is Sect Master out of danger? Asked Qin Yun. They should be out of danger. The immortal desolate great emperor and the devil immortal great emperor lost face and returned with their tails between their legs. Xian Rujing suddenly said in soft voice, My good Xiao Yun, Contact 9 Extinction Sect Master and remember to inform me. I want to meet him. Xian Rujing has suddenly become very gentle, causing Qin Yun to shiver with cold sweat. I know, as long as he is still an immortal desolate, I will definitely be able to contact him in the future, Qin Yun said. Xiao Yun, I'll wait for you. Kiss me. Xian Rujing deliberately spoke in a very gentle manner, but it gave Qin Yun a kind of feeling that she is secretly flirtatious. Qin Yun curled his lips and immediately cut off the connection. Wei Zhongjing's sudden appearance in Immortal Desolate made Qin Yun very happy. He decided to think of a way to contact Wei Zhongjing. Xiao Yun, maybe sect leader Wei has cultivated a saint's soul. Ling Yun, said with a laugh. Sect leader Wei is a very good person. I hope so. Qin Yun nodded and continued smelting the materials. The smelting materials took close to a month, mainly because the Immortal King Beast Horns and Divine Metal Powder were very difficult to melt. If not for the fire of the sun, Qin Yun did not know how long it would take. Only when all the materials were melted could they be fused together better. Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror and released the mysterious fusion Heavenly Rune's power inside to illuminate the materials inside the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. The power of the profound fusion Heavenly Rune allowed all kinds of things to fuse more perfectly. Otherwise, it would require a very strong mind power to carry out more steps in order to achieve the effect of fusion. In the past, all kinds of materials were purified and forged, and then all the materials were fused together, smelting and forging at the same time. This was also one of the methods to perfectly fuse the materials, but it was very troublesome, strenuous, and time-consuming. Now, Qin Yun has melted all the materials into liquid and used the power released by mysterious fusion Heavenly Rune to fuse all the materials in liquid state. After solidifying, what he had to do was to repeatedly forge the material, remove the internal impurities, purify it, and then mold it. The time Qin Yun can use the 9-Sun Divine Hammer is limited, so he can use the current material fusion method, so he doesn't need to continue forging. Inside the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron, there were white, gold, red, black, and many other colored liquid materials. This also means that they have not completely fused together. If they were completely fused, it would be one color or two colors. While smelting, Qin Yun added some special materials. When they're completely fused, the liquid inside the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron will become transparent. Because the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet is like a transparent crystal. The fusion process is very long. It took a full 7 days. The steaming hot Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron is also filled with transparent liquid. Wait until it is more or less solidified. Then I can start forging, Qin Yun said with a smile. It is going very smoothly. The mysterious fusion Heavenly Rune is very useful. At this time, Siekaru woke up and knocked on the door of Qin Yun's secret room. After Qin Yun opened the door, he saw a cute little girl wearing white skirt and said with a smile, Sister Karu, you finally woke up? When I was sleeping, did you secretly pinch my face? Siekaru asked with light smile. Of course not, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Now that you mention it, I want to pinch you. Quickly come over and let me pinch you. Siekaru lightly spat on the ground and then walked over. Qin Yun rubbed that cute and tender little face with grin and said with smile, So easy to pinch. When I was a child, you also pinched me like this. Oomph. Siekaru lightly groaned and laughed. Then she struggled free from Qin Yun's hand and asked, Xiao Yun, what are you doing? It's so hot. Qin Yun said with smile, I am refining a tool. Refining what? Let me see. Siekaru climbed up a table and looked at the transparent liquid inside the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. She curiously said, What is this? It looks very delicious. It looks like a kind of fruit with transparent flesh. Sister Kiru, how did you think that this is something that can be eaten? Qin Yun cannot help but ask with smile. Because I am hungry. Siekaru puffed up her small face and said in low voice, I am hungry. I am going out to find something to eat. I have dragon meat here. Do you want to eat? but it is not very fresh. It has been frozen for a while. Qin Yun said, "Eat." Siekaru opened her lovely eyes wide and said with charming smile, "I love fruits and fragrant meat." Qin Yun took out a storage pouch and handed it over to Siekaru. Siekaru took the storage pouch and walked out of the pagoda to roast and eat. Little Gray Cat saw Siekaru woke up and very happily rushed over. Qin Yun continued refining the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. It's about to solidify. Qin Yun took out the 9-Sun Divine Hammer and the Sun Core Fragment. After the 9-Sun Divine Hammer touched the Sun Core Fragment, it immediately flickered with light rays. Qin Yun promptly held the 9-Sun Divine Hammer tightly. This feeling of regaining something he had lost caused him to be incomparably excited. It's this kind of feeling. Qin Yun held the 9-Sun Divine Hammer and felt as if it is connected by blood. It is as if the 9-Sun Divine Hammer is a part of his body. He promptly poured out the transparent material inside the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. After the material was poured into the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron, Qin Yun brandished the 9-Sun Divine Hammer and unleashed 6-style Forging Dragon, frantically bombarding the material filled with impurities. When a 9-Sun Divine Hammer smashed down, it absorbed the immortal power inside the Nether Sun, condensed a very intense flame, and entered the material. What made Qin Yun apprehensive is that the 9-Sun Divine Hammer could directly release the super gravity inside the Nether Sun. It must be known that the most formidable aspect of a 9-Sun Divine Hammer is that it can increase energy by several times, even more than 10 times. After the Nether Sun's supergravity was absorbed by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, it became even more dreadful. The transparent material suffered intense, scorching power attack, and then was ruthlessly pressed by the supergravity. A large amount of impurities turned into sparks and flew out. Those impurities flew out and rolled on the ground. They are swarthy like black dregs. This kind of feeling is really great. Qin Yun once again experienced the formidable power brought by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. He has a kind of hearty feeling. He can't help but immerse himself in a state of joy and passion. Although he is frantically bombarding the material, he doesn't feel tired at all. Outside, Siekaru and Mysterious Tiger King are surrounding the bonfire, roasting dragon meat. Little Gray Cat and the group of little monkeys are swallowing their saliva while looking at the fragrant roasted dragon meat. Burst after burst of explosions came out from the pagoda. They enveloped the entire mountaintop. What is Shao Qin doing inside? Cultivating? Mysterious Tiger King looked at the pagoda in shock. He is refining a very powerful tool. Siekaru said with smile, "Brother Tiger, have you ever eaten dragon meat before?" Mysterious Tiger King said with smile, "I have never eaten it before. I always wanted to eat it. Now I finally have the chance to taste it." "Then why don't you go out and catch it?" Siekaru said. "The dragon meat Shao Yun gave me is from many years ago. It is not a very strong dragon. If I leave this mountain, this place will be in chaos. Only I can suppress this mountain." Mysterious Tiger King looked into the distance and said with sigh, "I also want to go out and see this world. Brother Tiger, do you have any more core fragments in this Dragon Tiger Divine Mountain?" Siekaru asked. "I don't know, I haven't found them yet. If I find them in the future, I will leave them for Shao Qin. It seems like he really needs this kind of thing," Mysterious Tiger King said. Qin Yun is Mysterious Tiger King's benefactor. Back then, it was also because of Qin Yun that Mysterious Tiger King was born. Siekaru nodded. After eating the dragon meat, Siekaru is also very full. She hopped into the pagoda and entered the secret room. She sat on a table by the wall and swung her legs as she watched Qin Yun refine tools. "Shao Yun, I want to go to a place by myself. It might take me a while to come back. If you want to go to the immortal Xian Great Desert, remember to wait for me in Shaohua." Siekaru suddenly said, "Where are you going?" "I'll go with you." Qin Yun's upper body is bare. He brandished the 9-Sun Divine Hammer and hammered a transparent but very stiff material. Siekaru gently shook her head and said, "I want to go by myself. I can't bring you." Why? Qin Yun is not at ease with Xie. No reason. You don't have to worry about me. I have Xiao Hua, and my strength is also very strong. Xie gently smiled. All right. Qin Yun also knows that in Xie subconscious, there must be something important that she wants him to do alone. Qin Yun crazily forged for a day and a night. At this moment, he can also feel that the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer's energy is weakening. It seems like it won't last long. He can only quickly begin to shape it. After more than half a day, he finally produced a large transparent bell. Although it is very big now, it can cover a 2-meter-tall person. However, after it is refined, it can become big or small. Engraving curious runes is a great success. Qin Yun looked at the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer and let out a long sigh. Nine-Sun Divine Hammer, it's been hard on you. I will definitely let you be completely reborn in the future. As long as he could find the core fragment, he would be able to awaken the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer again. Xie tenderly smiled and said, Xiao Yun, come over and pinch my face again. I'm going to be on my way soon. After Qin Yun washed his hands, he walked over with a smile and rubbed her cute little face. Then, he took out a magic mirror with a white frame. Chapter 1330. Luotian City. The white magic mirror Qin Yun gave to Xie was refined by him. After it was cracked, there is no need to use immortal jade beads anymore. There is no need for immortal jade beads. I've already cracked immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's Devil Mirror. Qin Yun smiled very proudly. Then he touched Xie small face and said, Sister Karu, remember to contact me or you well on. Got it. I will report to you regularly that I am safe and sound. If you can't contact me, don't worry, I might be sleeping. Xie laughed, then stood up and touched Qin Yun's handsome face. Qin Yun escorted Xie out of the pagoda, and the gray cat flew into her arms. I'm leaving. Xie smiled and waved at Qin Yun. Then, the gray cat used spatial teleportation and disappeared with Xie. Mystic Tiger King said with envy, That kitten is much stronger than me. Why don't I have this ability? They're both cats, but why is there such a big difference? Qin Yun said with a smile, Brother who? You're a big tiger. Humph. In the eyes of you humans, I'm just a big tabby cat. Otherwise, why do you guys often say that a tiger doesn't show its might and treat me as a sick cat? Mystic Tiger King curled his lips and continued to slide the small magic mirror on the ground. The mysterious Tiger King's claws were very big, and the magic mirror was very small. It was very difficult for him to move it. Furthermore, he needed to transport the immortal jade beads regularly to use the magic mirror. The immortal jade beads were given to him by the immortals who stayed in Longhu Mystic Mountain. Brother Tiger, I will refine a big magic mirror for you. It will be convenient for you to use. Qin Yun said with a smile. Really? I heard that you are the disciple of Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror. But even if you finish the refinement, you still need the Emperor to activate it, right? Mystic Tiger Monarch didn't dare to believe it. You might not believe me, but Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror is my disciple. Qin Yun chuckled. Then he took out some relatively ordinary materials and began hammering them together. Soon, he created a square mirror the size of a table. The square mirror was turned into a short rectangular table by Qin Yun. After carving the curious runes, he used the golden magic mirror in his hand to connect to the center of the formation base. In this way, he could establish a connection between the square table magic mirror and the central formation base bridge. Mysterious Tiger King is dumbstruck watching from the side. Seeing that the magic mirror can be used, he cursed in a low voice. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have spent so many immortal jade beads to buy that broken thing. You take your time playing, I will continue refining. After I finish refining, I will need you to help me test it. Qin Yun grinned and ran into the pagoda. Mystic Tiger King laughed. Testing the immortal artifact? Bring on. As long as Qin Yun carves the runes, the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet will be considered a success. Mo remembered that set of runes. Later on, Qin Yun modified it and added other runes. He didn't give too many abilities to the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. If there are too many abilities, the runes will be too complex and the efficiency will be too low. 1 month later, Qin Yin finally carved the Curiosity rune. The heaven and earth devil sealing goblet could become as small as a teacup or as tall as tens of meters. During this month, Siakiru sent him a message every few days telling him that she is safe. Qin Yin also gradually felt relieved. Before, it was Siakiru who was worried about his safety. But now that Siakiru has become so small, he is very worried. "Brother Tiger, come over and help me test this immortal tool." Qin Yin walked out with the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. The heaven and earth devil sealing goblet was enlarged by him. It became 2 meters tall and was able to envelop him inside. How to test? Mystic Tiger King has been obsessed with the devil mirror. He browsed through all kind of news all day long. Previously, because the devil mirror was too small, he didn't like to play with it. But after Qin Yin refined a very large devil mirror for him, he began to play with it to his heart's content. Qin Yin said with smile, "You attack me. This. What level of attack do I need?" Mystic Tiger King walked around the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet and doubtfully asked, "Can this thing block my attack?" First use 20% power, then 40%. Each time increase power by 20%. 80% should be enough, Qin Yin said. All right. Mystic Tiger King finished speaking, opened his mouth, and spat out a light golden light beam. Boom! The light beam hit the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet like lightning and produced a trembling sound. Somewhat awesome, Mystic Tiger King said in shock. My attack just now, even a first layer Ascendant Immortal would not be able to block it. Continue, Qin Yin proudly said with smile. This time Mystic Tiger King used 40% of his power. The heaven and earth devil sealing goblet let out a trembling sound, but it only slightly trembled. The power that landed on the goblet's surface very quickly dispersed. Mystic Tiger King is even more shocked. He did not expect that Qin Yin would be able to create something so awesome in this period of time. Again, Mystic Tiger King continued attacking. Even though his 60% power, the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet is still very firm. Qin Yin is completely unharmed inside. Then 80% power. This time, the goblet was sent flying more than 10 meters. Awesome! Mystic Tiger King exclaimed in admiration. I feel that even if I use 100% power, I will not be able to break this thing. Qin Yin said with proud smile. Let's try 100% power. You really want to try? If you break it, don't blame me. Mystic Tiger King is somewhat scared. Don't worry, I won't blame you, Qin Yin said with smile. All right. Mystic Tiger King agreed and attacked again. This time, the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet was sent flying out of the Dragon Tiger Divine Mountain. However, Qin Yin very quickly ran back with the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Nothing happened to him. He now has a good understanding of the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet's defense. Mystic Tiger King is a very strong Xian immortal beast. Even his strongest power cannot break the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Truly awesome. Mystic Tiger King sighed with sigh and said, It seems like you have only been refining for a few months, and you already made such a powerful thing. Qin Yin said with smile, I want to continue testing. Mystic Tiger King shook his head and said, That was my strongest attack. I can't help you test anymore. This time I'm testing you. I am locking you inside. Qin Yin said with mischievous smile. He finished speaking and threw out a very small heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. The small heaven and earth devil sealing goblet suddenly became big and enveloped Mystic Tiger King's body. Let's see if you can escape or not, Qin Yin said with grin. Mystic Tiger King stood up. His claws continuously scratched the goblet, but his claws are unable to leave any mark on the goblet. He is so anxious that he grimaced in pain. Then a formidable power gushed out from his mouth. He wanted to break the goblet, but he did not succeed. Mystic Tiger King struggled inside the goblet for less than half an hour, then barely managed to lift the goblet up and escaped. This is truly too torturous. Mystic Tiger King gasped for breath. He looked at the goblet with lingering fear. Qin Yun waved his hand and took back the goblet. He said with smile, "Brother Tiger, continue training with me. I will use this thing to cover you, and then you will dodge everywhere." "All right," Mystic Tiger King said with smile. "Let me rest for a while with my dodging speed. You won't be able to get away so easily." Qin Yin wants to use this thing to cover all kinds of experts with very fast movement speed or formidable beasts. So he must familiarize himself with it. Mystic Tiger King is a very good sparring partner because his speed is very fast. After several days of practice, Qin Yin has become even more familiar with how to use Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. He can also use another ability of the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. After trapping the mysterious Tiger King, he can release a very strong mental power attack. Or when he is trapping the mysterious Tiger King, he can suddenly release a burst of bell sound and release his mental power to attack. This way he can easily capture the prey. After Qin Yun finished refining Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet, he wants to go to other places to test it out. He took out the Devil Mirror and contacted Luo Weizhuang. "Brother Qin, you want to come to my place?" "Very good. I am in Luo Tian City. You can come here," Luo Weizhuang said with smile. "De Zhuang is also here. He said that Pippi Pig misses you very much." Qin Yin frowned and said with smile, "What does Pippi Pig miss me for?" "He wants to take you as his master. This guy knows that you are Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's brilliant disciple and wants to learn a thing or two from you," Luo Weizhuang said. "I think it is De Zhuang who wants to learn. Why would Pippi Pig want to learn tool refining?" Qin Yin doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Luo Weizhuang laughed. He also knows that Shimen Dazhuang wants to secretly learn some things, but it is not good to directly ask him. Qin Yun rested in Dragon Tiger Divine Mountain for a day, then bid farewell to Mystic Tiger King and immediately left for Luo Tian City. On the road, he used the Devil Mirror to contact Old Fox Huang. Old Fox Huang is still chasing Star Horse Monkey inside Immortal Shin Desert. Qin Yin also finds it funny. Star Horse Monkey certainly did not expect that he would be chased by that old fox who was about to die of old age for so long. Star Horse Monkey's arm was chopped off by Qin Yun. Then, because of his carelessness, he looked down on Old Fox Huang, who was about to die of old age. That is why he was seriously injured by Old Fox Huang. Old Fox Huang is an old fox. After he awakened his runes, he pretended to be a weak chicken and then took advantage of Star Horse Monkey's carelessness to attack with lightning speed, catching Star Horse Monkey unprepared. Old Fox Huang is very certain that the next time Qin Yun enters Immortal Shin Desert, he will be able to eat Star Horse Monkey. Qin Yun rushed for 3 days and finally arrived at Luo Tian City. Shin Province, Earth Province, and Heaven Province each have a Luo Tian City. They're all the headquarters of the Luo family. Luo Tian City is also beside the Immortal Shin River. When Qin Yun entered the city, it was already nighttime. He contacted Luo Weizhuang and found out that Luo Weizhuang and Shimen Dazhuang had left the city to hunt beasts in the mountain range beside the river. Luo Weizhuang said that they would be back soon and told Qin Yun to wait for him in the city for a few days. Not long after Qin Yun arrived at Luo Tian City, Xiao Yuelon contacted him and asked where he was. "Yuelon, I'm in Luo Tian City." Qin Yun sent a message. "We'll meet in 2 days." Xiao Yuelon immediately sent a reply. Qin Yun also wanted to meet Xiao Yuelon. They agreed to meet in 2 days. After he checked into an ordinary inn, he called Xiao Yuelon. "Yuelon, do you have any other business in Luo Tian City?" Qin Yun asked. "Yes. Shimen family's people are in Luo Tian City. Our Guanghan Palace has already discussed with them that we will send disciples over to learn and exchange." Xiao Yuelon said. "In addition, Totem Pavilion's people are also in Luo Tian City. We have a grudge with those guys from Totem Pavilion, so we're going to settle it with them." Chapter 1331. 1331, Chapter 1331. Hercules, Totem Qin Yin remembered that Totem Pavilion was a great evil force in the magical desolate. They specialized in seizing other people's totem runes. When seizing, They even used a very righteous excuse. It was extremely disgusting. Yuan, what grudge do you have with Totem Pavilion? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. Our Guanghan Palace was originally going to exchange totem runes with a reclusive inscription family. After Totem Pavilion found out, they went to mess things up. They even said that our Guanghan Palace's totem runes are very bad and fake. Then, Totem Pavilion snatched away that inscription family's totem runes in front of us. Furthermore, that inscription family is no longer willing to exchange with us. Xiao Yuelon said, in order to master more totem runes, it was quite common to exchange them in private. And the reason why Totem Pavilion did this was because they did not want the Guanghan Palace to obtain too many totem runes. It was an action that harmed others without benefiting themselves. Xiao Yuelon continued, because the Shiman family has moved into Luo Tian City, there will be many upper immortal level inscription masters heading to Luo Tian City to communicate with the Shiman family. We have received news that the inscription masters of Totem Pavilion are already on their way to Luo Tian City. We are going to Luo Tian City to settle the score with them. Yuelon, if you need help, just say it. I am also an inscription master, Qin Yun said with a smile. You should rest first. Xiao Yuelon knew that Qin Yun was an inscription master. However, she felt that Qin Yun's level might not be enough. After all, they would be competing with senior inscription masters. Qin Yun put away the magic mirror and laid on the bed. He was preparing to have a good sleep when a magic mirror suddenly vibrated. It was Luo Weizhuang requesting an urgent call. Brother Qin, Dazhuang has something to ask of you, Luo Weizhuang said. At this moment, Shiman Dazhuang's shout came from the magic mirror. Uncle Qin, help me. I have an elder who is in danger in the mountain range outside the city. Hurry up and help him. Isn't this Luo Tian City? This is old Luo family's territory. Can't old Luo just send people over? Qin Yun said with a frown. Uncle Qin, you're the most useful at a critical moment. Not only are the people from the Luo family ugly, but they all look like old men. I don't trust the Luo family. Luo Weizhuang immediately said angrily, You damned Zhuang, how dare you despise my Luo family so much? I'll beat you to death. Pippi Pig, quickly kill him. Shiman Dazhuang promptly shouted. Qin Yun held the magic mirror as a dark cloud hung over his head. He shouted, Dazhuang, where are your elders? I'll go over right now. Shiman Dazhuang told Qin Yun the location. Qin Yun wanted to rest after entering the city, so he immediately left the city to save Shiman Dazhuang's elder. Shiman Dazhuang's elder had encountered danger in a cave on a mountain peak. It was said that he had stepped on a formation trap and attracted a very powerful poisonous spider. Shiman Dazhuang knew that Qin Yun had a miraculous rabbit that could cure all poisons. Furthermore, he had seen Qin Yun's means, so he was very at ease with Qin Yun. Late at night, Qin Yun entered the dangerous mountain range alone. Shiman Dazhuang and Luo Weizhuang are also inside the mountain range. However, they are quite far from that elder, so they won't be able to arrive so quickly. That mountain range is called Heavenly Mountain Range. It was also named after Heavenly City. After Qin Yun entered the Heavenly Mountain Range, he quickly saw a pagoda-shaped mountain. Shiman Dazhuang's elder is near the mountain peak. Qin Yun directly flew up. It is very cold. Ice has formed on it. When Qin Yun flew up, he saw some caves from time to time. Presumably, they were made by some powerful beasts to rest in. The mountain pierced through the clouds. The area near the mountain peak is also very calm, unlike the wind and snow blowing down from below. However, the mountain peak is still very cold. After Qin Yun flew up, he borrowed the moonlight to see a relatively large cave on the mountain peak. It is nearly 10 meters tall. What is more special is that under the moonlight, a light silver light screen appeared at the cave entrance. There is a barrier. After approaching, Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit to take a look. He is somewhat astonished because there are many transparent spider silk at the cave entrance. Those transparent spider silk actually formed a very strong barrier and sealed the entrance of the cave. This spider is somewhat powerful. It can actually comprehend runes and use spider silk to set up a barrier. Qin Yun is astonished. He used mysterious penetration, divine ability, and entered the cave. After entering the cave, Qin Yun secretly suspected the strength of Shimin Dazhuang's elder. After all, that elder is from Shimin family. His inscription level should not be bad. How could he encounter danger? At the end of the cave, Qin Yun also saw Shimin Dazhuang's elder. He is a round-faced and slightly fat middle-aged man. He has 2 strokes of beard and his eyes are wide open. His entire body is wrapped in black spider silk. Only his red head can be seen. Beside him, there was a beautiful woman with a slightly round face and a slightly cold expression. She was also trapped like a dumpling by the spider silk, but her face was cold and pale. I was called here by Dazhuang. After Qin Yun walked over, he quickly said, I am not an enemy, and the spider is not outside. It is very safe now. Dazhuang called you? The fat-faced middle-aged man asked. Yes. Are you guys all right? Qin Yun laughed. Then you should be Uncle Qin. You must be careful of that spider. It is an inscription beast. Although it is not in the cave now, it will return very soon. The fat-faced middle-aged man warned Qin Yun solemnly. Qin Yun almost spat out a mouthful of blood. No matter how he looked at it, the fat-faced middle-aged man in front of him was much older than him. He actually called him Uncle Qin. Big, Uncle Qin, can you do it? You look very weak, the woman said in a low voice. Qin Yun really wanted to turn around and leave. It was one thing for Shimin Dazhuang to call him uncle, but this fat-faced middle-aged man actually had the cheek to call him that. He was truly blind. Qin Yun suddenly felt that the Shimin family's understanding of youth and handsome had a great misunderstanding. I quietly came in. Qin Yun thought that the Shimin family's people were all weirdos, so he felt relieved. Uncle Qin, the black spider silk wrapped around my body is poisonous. Those poisons are very strange. They should belong to the poison immortal runes. Moreover, the precision is extremely high. They are naturally formed on the spider silk and turned into ropes to tie us up. As long as we are rescued, they will release a very strong poison power into our bodies. The fat-faced middle-aged man warned, Do you have a way to get rid of the spider silk? The cold woman said in a low voice, Father, even if you are a great inscription master, you can't do anything. This Uncle Qin definitely can't do anything. This pair of father and daughter, one called Qin Yun Uncle and the other called Qin Yun Uncle. Moreover, they both looked older than Qin Yun. Qin Yun's heart collapsed. After cursing a few times, he said, How about this? I'll take you away first. Leave this place, then go back and ask other inscription masters to help you get rid of the spider silk on your bodies. Uncle Qin, don't act recklessly. These spider silk are connected to a very strong formation. If you directly take us away, you will trigger that formation, and then all kinds of poisonous thorns will shoot out from all around the cave. The fat-faced middle-aged man saw that Qin Yun was coming over and immediately shouted. Qin Yun did not listen. He walked over and placed his hands on the shoulders of the fat-faced middle-aged man and the cold woman. He used the power of mysterious penetration divine ability and vigorously grabbed their shoulders and pulled them out. The spider silk was not touched at all, and the father and daughter pair were also pulled out by Qin Yun. It's fine, let's go. Qin Yun faintly smiled. The father and daughter pair are dumbstruck. They looked at each other in dismay. Uncle, you are really awesome. As expected of the person Dazhuang often praises. The fat-faced middle-aged man chuckled and said, Thank you for saving us father and daughter. Since you are so powerful, you definitely don't lack any good things, so we won't give you any gifts. You're welcome. Qin Yun is somewhat speechless. The people of the Shimin family are indeed very strange. Soon after, he used the mysterious penetration divine ability and brought the father and daughter pair through the formation at the cave entrance. Then, he flew in the air and returned to Luo Tian City. On the way, Qin Yun informed Shimin Dazhuang about the news. On the way back, Qin Yun learned that the fat-faced middle-aged man's name is Shimin Chongtian. He is a 9th layer Ascendant Immortal. He can carve dozens of immortal runes with 11th level finesse. He is a venerable master of inscription. The daughter is called Shimin Qinglian. She is a second layer ascendant immortal and also an inscription master. She can refine mid-grade immortal tools. Many of her immortal runes can reach 10th level finesse. Her mental power is very strong. Uncle Qin, how do you know Brother Dazhuang? Shimin Qinglian asked. I met him by chance. Qinyan said. He feels that he is younger than Shimin Qinglian, but she calls him Uncle Qin. He doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Shimin Chongtian said with smile, Uncle Qin, you saved us father and daughter. You are our benefactor. The highest I can refine is high-grade immortal tools. Moreover, the quality is very good. If you want me to refine them, I will give you a 50% discount. No need. Qinyan laughed. He is an inscription master. He can refine them himself. The three of them are flying in the sky. Their aura fluctuated. Because they are near Luo Tian City, they did not deliberately conceal their aura. While the three of them are flying and chatting, several people suddenly flew over. Those people are wearing black robes. Their bodies are engraved with several kinds of totem runes. Seeing this kind of attire, Qin Yun realized that they are from Totem Pavilion. You have very strong aura of runes on your bodies. It can be seen that your clothes are pretty good. If I'm not wrong, your equipment should have good totem runes engraved on them. A black-robed middle-aged man said, while looking at Shimin Chongtian. We want to buy your equipment with totem runes. If you don't sell, don't even think about leaving. A youth said coldly. Shimin Chongtian's brows wrinkled. He took out a silver hammer and asked, My hammer has Titan God totem rune carved on it. How much do you want to buy it for? Hearing about Titan God totem rune, these few people from Totem Pavilion all revealed looks of fear. You are from Shimin family? The youth shouted in alarm. I am Shimin Chongtian. Quickly answer me. What price do you want to buy my hammer? Shimin Chongtian sneered. The hammer in his hand suddenly flashed with silver light. The few people from Totem Pavilion immediately sweated profusely. Chapter 1332. 1332 Chapter 1332 Inscription Mysterious Sect. When Qin Yun saw that the people from Totem Pavilion are so afraid of Shimin Chongtian, he felt somewhat surprised. He never expected that this fat middle-aged man would have such a huge deterrent force. So it's Grandmaster Chongtian. Please forgive us for being blind. We know our wrongs. Please be magnanimous and let us off. The black-robed man from Totem Pavilion said with a trembling voice as his body trembled. You bunch of dog scum, you must have robbed quite a few people here, right? Shimin Chongtian's face is filled with dignity as he said coldly. No. The man from Totem Pavilion quickly replied. The sweat on his face increased. Shimin Qinglian is very angry. He said coldly. You stopped us and wanted to steal our things. You want to run away after apologizing? All of you, break one of your arms, dig out one of your eyes, and scram. Grandmaster Qinglian, spare us. The expression of the man from Totem Pavilion changed as he said in fear. Spare us? You guys have done many evil deeds and must have killed many people. How can I let you off so easily? The two swords in Shimin Qinglian's hands were about to stab out when an aura suddenly attacked them. Shimin Chongtian's expression changed slightly as he shouted, Qinglian, let's go down and talk. They're still floating in the air. If something were to attack them from below, it would be difficult to dodge. The expressions of the few people from Totem Pavilion became much better because their elders have arrived. Shimin Chongtian and Shimin Qinglian are not weak either. Furthermore, they have very strong equipment. This is also the reason why the people from Totem Pavilion are very afraid of them. After landing on the ground, Shimin Chongtian shouted towards the distance, Stop hiding! Hurry up and come out! Shimin Qinglian snorted and said, So what if the old fellow from Totem Pavilion is here? These bastards stopped us and wanted to steal our things. Today, they must be punished. A burst of black gas suddenly blew over. A sturdy middle-aged man, wearing a black bamboo hat, suddenly appeared in front of the people from Totem Pavilion. The middle-aged man has a beard and a handsome appearance. He stroked his beard and said with a clear smile, Grandmaster Chongtian, Give me, Helin, some face, and let these ignorant fellows go. Helin, I didn't say I wanted to kill them. Shimin Chongtian sneered. If I wanted to kill them, they would have died a long time ago. You and I are both masters. Let's give each other some face. I'll apologize to them. Helin chuckled. No, these guys want to rob me. I can't let them go so easily. Otherwise, they won't learn their lesson. Shimin Chongtian snorted. I've changed my mind. I won't kill them, but I'll cripple them. Helin, don't stop me, or I'll fight you to the death. Shimin family is a hidden inscription family. Although Shimin Chongtian is only a 9th layer ascendant immortal, his inscription level is very high. It is precisely because he is in Luo Tian City that many inscription masters came to visit him because of his fame and wanted to communicate with him. In the Immortal Desolate, even a first-rate power in the Immortal Desolate would not dare to underestimate the Shimin family's strength, let alone a second-rate power like Totem Pavilion. If Shimin Chongtian wanted to kill those people from Totem Pavilion, Helin would not be able to do anything. Grandmaster Soaring Sky, how about this? We will use Inscription Master's method to settle this. How about it? Helin faintly smiled. We will compete in inscription level. If you win, I will kill these people. If you lose, I will make them kneel down and apologize to you. Then I will let them go. Shimin Chongtian proudly laughed a few times and said, You are really funny. You think you can win against me? Let's compete. Come. Shimin Qinglian did not say anything because she has confidence in her father. Those few black-robed people beside, Helin suddenly felt as if they just escaped from death. They seem to have a lot of confidence in Helin. In the Inscription Master's circle, Grandmasters understand each other very well. Shimin Chongtian also knows Helin's strength, so he is confident that he can win. Helin has a card up his sleeve. He took out a talisman and said with a smile, Let's compete in talisman deciphering. I will activate this talisman, and it will explode in about 30 breaths of time. Within 30 breaths of time, you must decipher it. If you can't, you lose. This talisman of mine is very powerful. I didn't refine it myself. Therefore, I will allow you 3 to join hands to decipher this talisman. Helin looked at Shimin Qinglian and Qin Yun. He saw that Qin Yun is very young and thought that Qin Yun is Shimin Chongtian's disciple. I can decipher it myself. You activate it. Shimin Chongtian said. Grandmaster Chongtian, this talisman's might is very strong. If you carelessly decipher it, it will also cause an explosion. At that time, it will very likely injure the 2 youngsters beside you. Helin finished speaking, paused for a bit, and then said again, This is a high-grade immortal bone talisman. Shimin Chongtian impatiently said, Hand it over. Helin activated the talisman and promptly handed it over to Shimin Chongtian. Then he retreated to a distance while holding a golden square shield in his hand. Shimin Chongtian took the talisman and carefully looked at it. His expression changed greatly, and he cursed in anger. 12th level finesse. Moreover, it is Xian ancestor level blood spirit power. This is a talisman refined by Inscription Sect. How can I, a Grandmaster Inscription Master, decipher it? Father, quickly throw it away. Shimin Qinglian anxiously shouted. From a distance, Helin anxiously said, Grandmaster Chongtian, I know that your skill is very high. That is why I used this talisman. You should know that this talisman is very expensive. I am willing to use it to test you. It is because I think highly of you. Shimin Chongtian looked at the talisman. Sweat poured down like rain. His face is filled with anger because he feels that he has been played. Father, what are you doing? Quickly throw it away. Inscription Sect's high-grade immortal talisman is enough to destroy a 9th layer upper immortal. Shimin Qinglian anxiously shouted. She wants to run away by herself, but she can't let go of her father. Inscription Sect is above Venerable Inscription Masters. Inscription Masters who can obtain this title are all publicly recognized by everyone. They don't need to take the test. They all rely on their reputation to obtain this title. Only those immortal Inscription Masters of whatever rank need to take the test. Shimin Chongtian's face is filled with unwillingness because he very much wants to decipher this talisman. If he loses, Lin will make a big fuss and say that Shimin Chongtian lost to Lin or something like that. On top of that, Shimin Chongtian was robbed on the road, and yet he is unable to punish those robbers. If this matter spreads out, it will damage his prestige. He is a famous soaring heaven venerable master. He was robbed by a few petty robbers, and yet he can only make them apologize. This will make him a laughingstock. Lin said with smile from the distance, "Soaring heaven venerable master, don't force yourself. Even I can't decipher a high-grade immortal bone talisman made by inscription sect. It is not shameful that you can't decipher it." Hearing Lin's words, Shimin Chongtian's anger surged up even more. It is clear that Lin is ridiculing him. "Father, time is running out." Shimin Qinglian gritted her teeth and said, "That talisman is about to explode." The high-grade immortal bone talisman in Shimin Chongtian's hand is constantly vibrating and overflowing with golden light. It is not far from exploding. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to observe the talisman. He suddenly took out the floating cloud divine needle, walked over and lightly poked the talisman a few times. After Shimin Qinglian saw this, she loudly shouted, "Uncle, what are you doing?" Shimin Chongtian also shouted, "Uncle, what are you doing?" Because in the eyes of this father and daughter pair, Qin Yun doesn't understand inscription. If he acts recklessly, he will destroy that high-grade immortal bone talisman. What caused Shimin Chongtian and his daughter to be shocked is that the talisman suddenly calmed down. Lin is also somewhat shocked because he heard Shimin Chongtian call Qin Yun uncle. He originally thought that Qin Yun looks so young and is only a junior, but he is actually Shimin Chongtian's uncle. What caused Lin to be most shocked is that Qin Yun casually poked the talisman a few times and successfully deciphered it. Shimin Chongtian and Shimin Qinglian, father and daughter pair, are even more amazed. They come from inscription family. They're all very talented inscription masters. They were helpless against that talisman, but Qin Yun was able to deal with it in a few moves. He was simply an expert who hid his strength. Very soon, Shimin Chongtian calmed down. He looked at Lin and said with sneer, "We have deciphered this talisman. You must do what you said, quickly kill those guys." "Venerable Master Lin, don't kill us," a black-robed man shouted in fear. "I was just saying." Lin smiled at Shimin Chongtian. His expression is extremely unsightly. Seeing Qin Yun's calm expression and not saying a single word, Lin became even more afraid. Because Lin knows that even if an inscription profound sect came, they would not be able to easily decipher that talisman. Yet Qin Yun did it very easily. Therefore, Lin is sure that Qin Yun is inscription profound sect. Moreover, his level is very high. His talent is extraordinary. Moreover, he is very active and low-key. "What? You don't want to kill anymore?" Shimin Qinglian coldly shouted. "Then let us do it. Let's go." Lin clenched his teeth and promptly flew into the sky. Qin Yun said to Shimin Chongtian, "Return that talisman to him." After Shimin Chongtian understood, he tried to activate the talisman and threw it into the sky. Boom! Suddenly, a large amount of flame exploded in the sky, turned into a fire cloud, illuminating the dark night sky. Lin is not dead, but those guys are dead, Shimin Qinglian very happily said. Shimin Chongtian very respectfully looked at Qin Yun and said, "Truly worthy of being called uncle. I was just saying, you look so young. Why did Dazhuang call you uncle? So senior is actually such a powerful inscription profound sect. Junior Chongtian, I was too disrespectful before." Shimin Qinglian giggled and said, "Uncle Qin, I will still call you uncle. You look even younger than me. Calling me uncle is too awkward." Qin Yun wants to beat up Shimin Dazhuang through a magic mirror and randomly call him uncle. "Actually, I am not a powerful inscription master. I just use a little trick." Qin Yun faintly smiled. "Uncle, you don't need to be modest. How could you use a little trick? That is all because of your strength." Shimin Chongtian waved his hand. "I know that a powerful person like you likes to be low-key." Shimin Qinglian said with smile, "Uncle, can you give us some pointers on how we decipher that talisman?" Shimin Chongtian sternly shouted, "Qinglian, even if uncle gives you pointers, can you learn it?" Forget about you. Even I can't guarantee that I can learn it. Chapter 1333. God's Totem. Chapter 1333. God's Totem. Uncle, let's go back to the city. I don't want to meet that old granny of Guanghan Palace. Shimin Qinglian said in low voice. I will be scolded if I go. That old granny is very strict. Shimin Chongtian groaned and said, Girl, don't be naughty. That is your biological grandmother. You must go see her. I don't want to go. Shimin Qinglian hid behind Qin Yun and begged. Uncle, quickly help me. I will introduce you to a few beautiful big sisters some other day. I don't want any big sisters, Qin Yun said with smile. Then, what about Auntie? Shimin Qinglian said with smile. I know a few lonely and mature, beautiful women. Uncle, you must be interested in them. Qin Yun let out a long sigh. There are not many normal people in Shimin family. I don't like that. Don't introduce me to women. I don't need them. Qin Yun faintly smiled. Then, don't tell me you like men. I know a lot of handsome young men. Hee, you know. Shimin Qinglian said with ambiguous smile. Qinglian, I have a wife. Qin Yun really did not expect that this cold-looking woman's mind would be filled with this kind of thing. Shimin Chongtian suddenly said with frown. Qinglian, when did you know a few lonely and beautiful women? Why didn't you tell me, your father, so that I can go and take care of them? Shimin Qinglian curled her lips and said, I know you like this. If you take me to see that old granny of Guanghan Palace, I will tell her that you often hook up with married women. You dare to speak nonsense? See if I don't smash your mouth. Shimin Chongtian waved his hand. He is very angry. Forget it. Let Qinglian follow me into the city. Qin Yun said. Shimin Chongtian said in low voice, Uncle, those big sisters and beautiful women that Qinglian knows are all repulsive. This girl's taste is really ordinary. She once introduced many so-called stunning beauties to me. I'm in tears, and I still have nightmares to this day. Qin Yun saw the tears in Shimin Chongtian's eyes and realized that Shimin Qinglian plotted against his father and left a huge shadow in his heart. Uncle, let's go. I will bring you into the city to have fun. Shimin Qinglian said with charming smile, then pulled Qin Yun and flew towards Luo Tian City. Shimin Chongtian shook his head, then stomped his feet and flew away. By the time Qin Yun returned to Luo Tian City with Shimin Qinglian, the sky had already brightened. What made Qin Yun at a loss whether to laugh or cry was that Shimin Qinglian really wanted to bring him to a brothel. What shocked him most was that Shimin Qinglian was very familiar with the brothels here. Immortal Desolate actually has this kind of place. Qin Yun really did not expect it. He thought in his heart. Qin Yun was not interested in those places and only said that he wanted to rest. Shimin Qinglian said with a smile, Uncle, I knew that you wouldn't take a fancy to those goods. How about this? I'll find you a few untouched stars. Qinglian, go play by yourself. I want to meet a friend. Qin Yun waved his hand. He was very puzzled as to why a woman like Shimin Qinglian would know so much about this industry. Uncle, is your wife really that scary? Shimin Qinglian said with a smile. Don't worry. I guarantee that she won't find out. I am very good at this kind of thing. How do you know so much? While walking on the street, Qin Yun saw a building in front of him. It is a brothel. Isn't it because my father often goes to these places? I often go to catch him. Shimin Qinglian sighed and said, So, I know this industry very well. Whenever I follow my father to a place, the first thing I do is to find those brothel keepers and ask them to drive my father away. Qin Yun found it very funny and said, So, it's like this. All right, you go play by yourself. I really want to meet a friend. All right. Shimin Qinglian took out the devil mirror. She wants to contact Qin Yun later. Qinglian, help me with something. Help me inquire about the sun core fragment. Qin Yun instructed, and then ran away without a trace. Qin Yun is also trying to avoid Shimin Qinglian. Otherwise, he really doesn't know why she would drag him away. After returning to that ordinary inn, Qin Yun sat on the bed and recalled the talisman he cracked earlier. That talisman was crafted using fire attribute totem rune, and he has wildfire inscription spirit, so he can easily see through the totem rune's life gate. He just casually fiddled with a few runes and blocked the rune's operation. Moreover, he did not damage the talisman. That is why Shimin Chontion could use it to attack. 12th level finesse is indeed not ordinary. Qinyan also doesn't know whether or not he can do it. He didn't try it out because for him, level 11 precision was enough. Ling Yuner said with smile, Xiao Yun, doesn't Shimin Chontion have some Titan God totem rune? That should be a good thing. He should be able to obtain Titan God's power. Qin Yun said with frown, some gods also have their own totem runes? Could it be that this ice mother tigress Xian Rujing also has her own totem rune? Can we just ask her? Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and contacted Xian Rujing. Auntie Rujing, I want to ask you something. Qin Yun did not even finish speaking when Xian Rujing angrily shouted, Auntie? You call me Auntie? Fuck your grandpa. Do I look like an auntie? I am so young and beautiful, peerless beauty capable of toppling a city, style unmatched in a generation. You actually call me Auntie. I will bite your cheap mouth. All right, 9 Desolates number 1 Beauty Goddess Rujing. I'm also feeling very wronged, you know? A lot of people have been calling me uncle these days. Can you understand this kind of feeling? Qin Yun said with bitter smile, and then told Xian Rujing about his bitter experience. Serves you right. Xian Rujing burst in a loud laughter and said, that Shimin Dazhuang is a talented person. I will praise him in the future. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Goddess Rujing, Shimin family seems to have some Titan God totem. Then shouldn't you also have Snow Goddess totem? Xian Rujing proudly said, Of course I do. My totem runes are very awesome. Quickly give it to me. Qin Yun yelled in pleasant surprise. Not giving. Even if I give it to you, you won't be able to learn it. Xian Rujing bluntly refused. It's fine if you don't give it to me. Wait until I find 9 Extinction Sect Master. You won't be able to see him. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. 9 Extinction Sect Master's sun-suppressing divine arrow must be very awesome. Given our relationship, he will surely lend it to me to play with for a few days. Xian Rujing bit her lower lip with her pearly white teeth and said in low groan, Even if you find him, he won't necessarily remember you. Don't forget, people who have not cultivated Saint Tier spirit will not be able to remember you. Not at all. Sect Master is very awesome. He must have cultivated Saint Tier spirit. You just wait. I will find him very soon. Qin Yun said with smile. Xiao Yun, don't be like this. Xian Rujing suddenly acted like a spoiled child and said, Big sister, my snow goddess totem is very awesome. It is not convenient to pass it to you. Besides, you have so many totem runes. You don't lack mine. Wait until you find 9 Extinction Sect Master. Let me see him. I will let you touch his thigh. Qin Yun doesn't care about this kind of thing. He said, If you don't pass it to me, forget it. What is there to touch about your thigh? I have a lot of thigh to touch. Oomph. Xian Rujing really wants to pinch Qin Yun to death, but she can't. She said delicately, Little brother Xiao Yun, big sister's snow goddess totem. Aya. Even if I tell you, you won't understand. It is very complicated. Even though I have it, I can't figure it out. You're not an inscription master. Of course you can't figure it out. Pass it to me. I guarantee that I will figure it out. Qin Yun said, mainly because I am too weak now. Wait until I cultivate divine body. Then the totem will appear on my body. All right, wait until I cultivate divine body. I guarantee that I will strip naked for you to see. Moreover, I won't tell you well on. Xian Rujing lightly groaned and said, It doesn't matter if you tell Yuel on. She will support me. Qin Yun said with smile. Yuel on hinted to him that he can obtain 8th Sun Dual Spirit Immortal Vein through Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing secretly looked at Qin Yun and his wife with disdain and said again, I promise that I will give you the totem later. Then you must promise to introduce 9 Extinction Sect Master to me. I want to ask him a few questions. All right, wait until I find him. At that time, we will sign a soul contract, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Xian Rujin groaned and then cut off the connection. Qin Yun took out the golden devil mirror and impersonated Netherworld Great Emperor. He gave Devil Mirror a mission. He wants him to find Wei Zhongjing and inquire about the Sun Core fragment. Devil Mirror is very afraid of Netherworld Great Emperor because, according to rumor, Netherworld Great Emperor's Nether Spirit Sacred Blade is very dreadful. According to rumor, Netherworld Great Emperor can fight 2 Great Emperors and not die. His strength can absolutely crush 1 Great Emperor. There are only 3 people in Immortal Desolate who can be called Great Emperors, and Netherworld Great Emperor is publicly acknowledged as the strongest. Qin Yun rested for half a day. In the afternoon, Little Phoenix contacted him through Devil Mirror. Nangong Shiru arrived at Luo Tian City to meet an old granny of Guanghan Palace. So she left Little Phoenix in Luo Tian City and went to meet the old granny alone. Nangong Shueru asked Little Phoenix to contact Qin Yun. Little Phoenix, where are you? Shueru will be back in a day or 2. I will accompany you. Qin Yun asked. Young Master Qin, I am at Yalan Tavern. I don't need to trouble you. Little Phoenix is overwhelmed by the favor and promptly refused. In her eyes, Qin Yun is Nangong Shueru's boyfriend. She is worried that Nangong Shueru will thank her too much. It's fine. I'm also very bored right now. I want you to accompany me for a stroll. Qin Yun said with a smile. He liked to spend time with a lively and pure little girl like Little Phoenix. He is very happy. Little Phoenix can only agree to Qin Yun's request, but she wants to find Qin Yun herself. After arriving at Qin Yun's tavern, Little Phoenix is very startled. She did not expect Qin Yun to stay in such an ordinary place. Little Phoenix is wearing a very simple white dress. Her 2 braids are hanging on her chest. After seeing Qin Yun, she shyly and sweetly smiled, revealing 2 cute dimples. Little Phoenix, who is the old granny Shueru is going to see? Qin Yun asked as he followed Little Phoenix down the street. He suspects that she is the one Shimin Chongtian wants to meet. She is a very famous venerable inscription master of Guanghan Palace. She is a 9th layer Xian immortal. I only know that she is called Young Lady Gao. She looks like an old granny, but everyone calls her Young Lady Gao. Her temperament is very eccentric. I met her once. Little Phoenix suddenly felt very sad and said in low voice, she said that my aptitude is not good, so I cannot become a disciple of Guanghan Palace. Chapter 1334. Yalan and Little Phoenix has already broken through to Ascendant Immortal. The main reason is because she ate the golden grapes Qin Yun gave her. This is all thanks to young Master Qin giving me 2 divine fruits. Little Phoenix is filled with gratitude towards Qin Yun. She also worships him very much. Back then, she thought that Qin Yun died in the immortal profound desert and cried for an entire night. Then, at daybreak, she ran out of the city alone. She wanted to go to the immortal profound desert to avenge Qin Yun. Fortunately, Nangong Shiru pulled her back. Divine fruits can allow people to break through very quickly. Qin Yun's Nether Sun immortal power is very strong, so it is very difficult for him to break through. If he can become Ascendant Immortal through divine fruits, then there is no need to mention Little Phoenix. More than half of the golden grapes Little Phoenix ate are still sealed in her dantian. Nangong Shiru sealed them in order to prevent her from breaking through too quickly. Little Phoenix, take me to eat something delicious, Qin Yun said with a smile. All right, Little Phoenix said with charming smile, then pulled Qin Yun and ran toward the street. Little Phoenix often follows Nangong Shiru to other cities, so she is very familiar with them. Because Little Phoenix looks very young, she is already a Ascendant Immortal, it is very easy to attract attention. Therefore, Nangong Shiru refined an aura concealing immortal talisman for her to wear. Only people can sense her immortal power and think that she is just a little immortal. Qin Yun followed Little Phoenix around the streets and tasted many delicacies. It was truly a feast for him. At dusk, Little Phoenix said, Young Master Qin, you should go to our inn. Sister Shueru is an inscription pill master. You don't need immortal jade beads to stay in Yalan Inn. All right, Qin Yun nodded with a smile. Then, he followed Little Phoenix to the tavern. This inn is called Yalan Inn. It is said that the owner of this inn is an extraordinary woman called Xiang Yalan. Yalan Inn is located inside a manor. The main building is made of wood. It is dozens of floors tall. There are many small buildings in the vicinity. They're all located in gardens. Little Phoenix brought Qin Yun to a small building inside a garden. At this time, a red-clothed woman suddenly walked over and lightly yelled, "Little Phoenix?" Little Phoenix turned her head and said, "Sister Meijun, do you need something? Who is this man? Where are you taking him?" The red-dressed woman asked. Nangong Shuaru's appearance can be considered very beautiful, but she is far inferior to Nangong Shuaru. She is dressed very grandly and meticulously, as if she is going to attend some kind of banquet. "He's my friend, and also Sister Shui Ru's friend," Little Phoenix said in a low voice. Only now did she remember that bringing a man to Nangong Shuaru's small building would cause misunderstandings. "Oh, is he really Sister Shui Ru's friend? I think he's your friend," the woman in the red dress teased. "Did you take advantage of Shui Ru's absence to secretly bring a man to live in the mansion? Don't worry, I won't tell Shui Ru. And Meijun, watch your mouth," Little Phoenix yelled angrily. "What did I spout nonsense? You're just a maidservant who followed your master to live in a luxurious mansion. Now that your master isn't here, you brought a man in to show off. This is very normal." And Meijun looked at Qin Yun and said sarcastically, "What a handsome man. Little girl, your eyes are really good." Little Phoenix shouted angrily, "And Meijun, don't talk nonsense. Young Master Qin is Sister Shui Ru's friend." And Meijun giggled and said, "Oh, since he is Shui Ru's friend, are you also trying to seduce him?" Qin Yun's brows creased. He secretly released the power of heavenly might and condensed it into mental power. Ho! A burst of gale suddenly curled up. All the blooming flowers in the garden suddenly closed, and an invisible pressure rushed out of Qin Yun's body. And Meijun originally wanted to ridicule Qin Yun, but she was suddenly scared speechless by the pressure. You. And Meijun looked at Qin Yun's deep and angry eyes and felt an indescribable fear in her heart. "Scram," Qin Yun said in cold voice. "Don't you see? The flowers in this garden don't dare to bloom because you are too ugly. They're afraid that you will feel inferior because of your ugliness." "What did you say?" Although Meijun is scared, she is even more angry. Her voice is trembling. "I am Shuru's friend. I am also Little Phoenix's friend. Don't slander Little Phoenix," Qin Yun said in cold voice. "Slander her? Who doesn't know that Little Phoenix eloped with a little half-immortal? She was almost killed by Nangong Shuamei." And Meijun did not even finish speaking when she felt a sharp pain on her cheek. She felt as if she had been slapped heavily, but she didn't feel the impact, nor did she hear the sound of the slap. However, her face was burning with pain. "Quickly scram," Qin Yun shouted in cold voice. And Meijun is so scared that she quickly walked away and yelled, "Just you wait. Hitting people in Yalan Tavern will have very serious consequences. I will go find Big Sister Yalan." Little Phoenix is scared by Qin Yun's strength. She doesn't dare to say anything. She is very grateful to Qin Yun for protecting her reputation. After Meijun left, the flowers in the garden suddenly bloomed. They are very beautiful, and their fragrance permeated the air. "Young Master Qin, you are so awesome." Little Phoenix was originally in a bad mood, but now she is completely shocked after seeing the beautiful flowers suddenly bloom in the evening. "Little Phoenix, you are Shuaru's little sister. You are also my little sister. I won't let anyone bully you." Qin Yun laughed. "Don't take the rumors and slanders outside to heart. You must have a strong heart to be able to live a happy life." "I know. Thank you, young Master Qin. You and Sister Shuaru are both very good to me. You are both good people." Little Phoenix is very touched and nodded her head. "You can call me Brother Xiao Yun from now on," Qin Yun said with a grin. Is this really okay?" Little Phoenix is a bit hesitant, but in the end, she smiled sweetly and said, "Brother Xiao Yun." Qin Yun very happily nodded his head. Compared to calling her Uncle Qin, this name is much better. It also made him regain his youthful confidence. If it was before, Little Phoenix would be very worried that in May June would come back for revenge. But now, she is not afraid at all. She knows that Qin Yun is a very capable person. He will definitely be able to deal with any trouble. Did Shueru not bring her magic mirror? Qin Yun asked. No. Little Phoenix shook her head, then opened the door to let Qin Yun in. I will refine one for her in the future. It will be very safe, Qin Yun said with a smile. Brother Xiao Yun, you also know how to refine magic mirror? Little Phoenix suddenly remembered something and stuck out its tongue. I forgot that you are Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror's disciple. After Qin Yun entered the small building, Little Phoenix immediately poured tea for him. Little Phoenix, who is this in May June? Qin Yun asked. Oomph. She is a very excessive woman. She is a disciple of a small sect. Her family has some foundation. She hangs out in all kinds of high-class places all day long. She likes to make friends with all kinds of noble people and show off on the magic mirror. Sister Shiru only met her a few times, and she said that they are as close as sisters. Little Phoenix groaned and said, She is a third-layer Ascendant Immortal. She should have some strength. I hope she doesn't come back after I teach her a lesson. Qin Yun smiled. Brother Xiao Yun, how did you hit her? I saw red marks on her face, but I didn't hear any sound, and I didn't see her head move. Little Phoenix said very curiously, I use suffering divine ability and my powerful mental power to lightly touch her face and make her feel pain. Qin Yun said with a smile. He has nothing to hide from Little Phoenix. So awesome, Little Phoenix said in amazement. At this time, Shimin Qinglian suddenly contacted Qin Yun for the magic mirror and asked, Uncle, where are you? Quickly tell me. I have found out about the Sun Core fragment. I want to talk to you face to face. Qin Yun is very happy. He did not expect Shimin Qinglian to find something so quickly. He said with a smile, I am at Yalan Tavern. Uncle, well done. I didn't expect you to be so experienced. You even went to Yalan Tavern to flirt with girls. Yalan Tavern is a famous place in Luotian City where beauties gather. Shimin Qinglian said with mischievous smile. Oh, I don't know. Qin Yun said with frown. He really doesn't know. Keep pretending for me. Yalan Tavern was founded by Big Sister Yalan, and she has many famous beauties in Xianzhou. As long as she knows a beauty, she can stay in Yalan Tavern for free. Therefore, many disciples of famous sects come to Yalan Tavern out of admiration. Shimin Qinglian said with smile. Moreover, the famous beauties of Yalan Tavern are very difficult to flirt with. There is such a thing. Qin Yun suddenly feels that Xiang Yalan is very good at doing business. Those disciples of famous sects are very willing to be fish in big water. The accommodation fee and all kinds of expenses are very high, 10 to 20 times higher than other places. Shimin Qinglian said with smile, Uncle, do you like any beauty? I will help you chase her. Qinglian, can you stay in Yalan Tavern for free? Qin Yun asked. Uncle, aren't you just talking nonsense? Who do you think I, Shimin Qinglian, am? Of course I can stay in Yalan Tavern for free. I can even eat and drink for free. Just wait for me. I will immediately go find you. Oh, that's right. As long as you say my name and say you're my uncle, you can eat and drink to your heart's content. Everything is free. Shimin Qinglian very proudly said. Quickly come over and talk to me about the core fragment. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, I will immediately rush over. I will bring Big Sister Yalan to see you. Hee, Big Sister Yalan rarely shows her face. Many big water fishes have stayed in Yalan Tavern for several years and still haven't seen Big Sister Yalan. And as long as I say a word, Big Sister Yalan will respect you as a VIP. She will even dance for you. Shimin Qinglian laughed loudly and said, Of course, if you want to sleep with her, I won't be able to do it. Uncle will have to work hard. Qin Yun is speechless. This Shimin Qinglian only thinks about these things all day long. He put away the magic mirror and continued drinking his tea. Little Phoenix is also very surprised by the person inside the magic mirror. Suddenly, a sharp voice came from outside. Little Phoenix, quickly bring your man out and apologize to me. And Mei Jun is here. That evil woman is really something. Little Phoenix lightly groaned and said, "She obviously can't stay in Yalan Tavern for free, but she always pretends that she can." Qin Yun said with smile, "Don't worry about her. Wait for Qing Yin to come. I will take care of her." He is more concerned about the core fragment because he is worried that Yang Yang will fall into hibernation like Nine Sun Divine Hammer. If there are enough core fragments, even if Yang Yang falls into hibernation, he can wake her up when he needs her help. Chapter 1335. Grandmaster Helen outside, and Meijun had brought quite a few people with her, but they only dared to shout outside. They didn't dare to barge in. Therefore, Qin Yun and Little Phoenix sat in the living room, drinking tea and chatting. He held the magic mirror and inquired about Totem Pavilion. He discovered that Totem Pavilion was actually doing quite well in the Immortal Desolate. Furthermore, they had dealings with many great powers. Totem Pavilion controlled some totem inscriptions. If other inscription masters wanted to obtain their totem inscriptions, they would have to exchange with Totem Pavilion. Furthermore, they would have to agree to some conditions, such as cooperating with Totem Pavilion and helping each other out. Facing a large faction, Totem Pavilion would remain humble and not dare to push their luck. They would even give up a lot of benefits. However, Totem Pavilion was very overbearing when working with small and medium forces. Thus, compared to those great powers, Totem Pavilion was considered very powerful. In recent years, Totem Pavilion had become more and more domineering. Because they didn't have any conflicts with those big powers, they wouldn't be taken care of by those big powers, causing Totem Pavilion to gradually expand and form a grudge with the Moon Palace. In fact, in the eyes of many major forces, the Moon Palace was only considered to be below average. After all, the vast Coal Palace had been destroyed before. Currently, there was only Immortal Emperor Yu Yu. Moreover, she was also a woman. Naturally, she gave off a very weak feeling. Furthermore, the relationship between the Guanghan Palace and several great powers was very stiff. For example, the Immortal Desolate Great Emperor's immortal family and the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate that the Devil Immortal Great Emperor had just established, they all had conflicts with the Guanghan Palace. Totem Pavilion belonged to the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. When they found out that the Guanghan Palace was going to exchange totem runes with a reclusive inscription family, they immediately went to cause trouble, causing the Guanghan Palace to be extremely angry. This Totem Pavilion is really arrogant. Through the magic mirror, Qin Yin found out many of the evil deeds that Totem Pavilion had done. Totem Pavilion is the tyrant of the Immortal Desolate, because other than those superpowers, no one can do anything to them. Little Phoenix said, "They've done a lot of evil things, but for some reason, they can't appear in the magic mirror." Really? Immortal Emperor Fiend Mirror received benefits from Totem Pavilion? Qin Yun said with a frown. Little Rainbow Phoenix nodded and whispered, "Brother Xiao Yun, your master and Totem Pavilion should have a good relationship. Don't you know?" "I don't know. I haven't seen Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror for a long time. Also, this guy is my disciple. I will definitely teach this guy a lesson in the future." Qin Yun said with smile, "Brother Xiao Yun, are you really Immortal Emperor Fiend Mirror's master?" Little Phoenix was in awe of Qin Yun, but she still found it hard to believe. After all, the Immortal Emperor is Immortal Emperor is end. I'm just kidding, Qin Yun said with a mischievous smile. Outside the door, and Meijun yelled, "Little Phoenix, you little bitch. Hurry up and bring your man out here." And is Xiaomu Mu Xiao's sister, I'm Mu Shua Xiao Master. As Sister Shui, Ru's good sister, I can't tolerate this. This woman's mouth is really stinky. I will go out and teach her a lesson. Qin Yun put away the magic mirror and stood up. "Xiao Tian, Xiao. Little Phoenix laughed. "Let her do as she pleases. I'll tell Sister Shui Ru about it. I've recorded how she scolded me." Qin Yun said with smile. "All right, we must let Shui Ru see the true face of this kind of person and distance herself from him." Suddenly, Little Phoenix's magic mirror vibrated. Someone had sent her a message. Little Phoenix looked at the mirror and frowned. Then it snorted. And Mei Jun is really something. How dare she say bad things about me in the mirror? Qin Yin took out the magic mirror and saw a message. It says that Nangong Shiru's servant girl Little Phoenix took advantage of her master's absence to bring a man into Nangong Shueru's mansion. She also said that the mansion was provided to Nangong Shiru by Yalan Tavern, and Little Phoenix has no right to bring a man inside. It seems to be on the headlines. Qin Yin said with a frown. How did she do it? The more immortal jade beads you give, the more information you'll be able to make it to the top. Little Phoenix harumphed before putting the demonic mirror away. Qin Yin took out the golden demonic mirror and sent a message to Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror, asking him to delete all information about Little Phoenix and the nickname in Mei Jun. Finally, Qin Yin told Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror not to ask why and just do as he says. And Mei Jun and more than 10 people are looking at the demonic mirror very proudly. But suddenly they discovered that the information has disappeared. Each of us gathered 20,000 immortal jade beads and spent 200,000 to 300,000 immortal jade beads to barely make it to the headlines. How come the information has disappeared? My demonic mirror can't release any information. Think it's sealed? And Mei Jun said in shock. There must be a problem with the demonic mirror. Don't worry. I know a disciple of the demonic mirror. I will contact him and ask about the situation. A man promptly used the demonic mirror to contact the disciple. After Little Phoenix heard the words outside, she opened the demonic mirror in amazement and discovered that the information slandering her has indeed disappeared. Brother Xiao Yun, thank you. Little Phoenix knows that Qin Yun has put in a lot of effort. She also knows that Qin Yun has a relationship with Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror, because only Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror can delete information and seal other people's nicknames. You're welcome, Qin Yun said with a smile. To him, this is a very easy matter. Suddenly, with a bang sound, the door of the small building was violently kicked open. This is the Yalan Tavern. Normally no one would mess around here, so the small building did not have any formation set up. And in Mei Jun and the others who were waiting outside became anxious and directly rushed in. The people who rushed in are all beautiful men and women wearing luxurious clothing. With one look, it is clear that they were called by Mei Jun. They're all famous disciples of famous sections. Their cultivation is around 2nd or 3rd level of upper immortal realm. Little Phoenix shouted in alarm and anger. Ew, why did you break in? This is Sister Shui Ru's residence. You are too rude. Quickly get out. And Mei Jun said with sneer, We came in to stop you adulterous couple from polluting this place. Sister Shui Ru will definitely thank us. Qin Yin sat on a chair, drank a mouthful of tea, and then put down the teacup. Walala! The wooden pillars in the hall suddenly released many powerful rattan vines. After those rattan vines flashed out, they whipped out like a fierce and chaotic whip. They brought along powerful immortal power and randomly whipped the group of people. Among them, and Mei Jun's face has been hit by several whip marks. It is very unsightly. Other people have also been whipped by those rattan vines. Even though they are wearing body-protecting immortal clothes, their bodies are still burning with pain. These rattan vines are summoned by Qin Yun through tree totem power and suffering divine ability power. It is more than enough to deal with these upper immortals. The group of people who rushed in all shouted and left the small hall. You, and Mei Jun knows that Qin Yun is evil. She pointed at Qin Yun and shouted, It has nothing to do with me. This is a barrier set up by Shueru. Qin Yun smiled. You trespassed, and the barrier thought you were enemies, so it sent you out. Aren't you Shueru's good sister? How come you don't even know this? This caused Mei Jun to feel very embarrassed. She also believes that this is a barrier set up by Nangong Shiru. She doesn't believe that Qin Yun has this kind of strength. At this time, the group of people uniformly looked at a red-clothed man. This red-clothed man is very handsome and has a kind of arrogance. Everyone is very respectful towards him. Young Master Hewan Qin, aren't you a disciple of Totem Pavilion? You must be proficient in inscription. Quickly go break that formation and capture those dog couple. A young man said. His face was also whipped. He Wangqin's face showed a difficult expression as he said, "That is a barrier set up by Shuru. If I break it, she will blame me." "Can't you just fix it after you break it? Aren't you an inscription great master? It shouldn't be difficult for you," a blue-clothed woman said. She reacted a bit slower and was hit several times by the rattan vines. "It is still very painful. I will give it a try." He Wangqin braced himself and entered the hall, and Mei Jun proudly yelled, "Little Phoenix, you will be in for a good time." He Wangqin walked into the hall. He walked very slowly and looked around. He did have some level of inscription. After entering, he released the power of his blood soul to investigate the barrier inside. However, he did not discover anything. He continued walking forward and finally arrived in front of Qin Yun. He said with a sneer, "You shameless fellow, you hooked up with Shui Ru's lowly servant and trespassed in a Shui Ru's fragrant room. Who do you think you are? You think you can enter?" After saying that, He Wangqin opened his 5 fingers and grabbed at Qin Yun's throat. Qin Yun immediately released a super gravity, forcing He Wangqin to kneel on the ground. When his knees landed heavily on the ground, the stone tiles on the ground shattered. "Get the hell out of here!" Qin Yun sat on a chair and swept out with his foot. It landed ruthlessly on He Wangqin's cheek, bringing with it a ferocious shockwave. "Oh!" He Wangqin screamed miserably. Accompanied by a shockwave, he was kicked out of the door of the small building like trash and landed in the small garden outside. Everyone is extremely shocked. They quickly went over to look at He Wangqin. They saw that He Wangqin's face is swollen and crooked. His crooked mouth is twitching. "Young master, he is the son of Totem Pavilion's Grandmaster Helin. Little Phoenix, you are finished." And Mei Jun is also panicking. She shouted, "Quickly report this matter to the Yalan Tavern's shopkeeper. That person is finished. He actually injured an esteemed guest like young master, he in the Yalan Tavern. Big Sister Yalan will definitely personally teach this person a lesson this time. Young master's injuries are very serious. I heard that Grandmaster Helin is in the Yalan Tavern. We should quickly let him come over to check his injuries and teach that person a lesson." A blue-dressed woman suddenly shouted, "I contacted the shopkeeper's son. He will come over immediately. He said that Big Sister Yalan will definitely be very angry when she finds out about this, because this kind of thing has never happened in the Yalan Tavern before." At this time, He Wangqin, who was lying on the ground, suddenly took out his magic mirror. His mouth is crooked. He looked at Qin Yun and said with difficulty, "You just wait for me. I will immediately inform my father." Everyone now knows that Qin Yun is very strong. They do not dare to go in. He Wangqin is a young master from Totem Pavilion. Moreover, he is also wearing a full set of equipment. After being beaten to the ground, he was even kicked crooked in the mouth and face. Not long after, a very strong aura attacked. It is Helin. "Who injured my son?" Helin's voice is low and filled with anger. Previously, Helin was beaten by Shimin Chong Tian and fled. Now he is actually leisurely staying in the Yalan Tavern. Qin Yun did not say anything. He is not afraid of Helin at all. He calmly drank his tea. Little Phoenix feels that Qin Yun is the disciple of a mortal Emperor Magic Mirror. Nothing will happen to him. So, it is very relaxed and looked outside. Helin took care of He Wangqin's injuries and angrily walked towards the door of the small building. The others also supported He Wangqin and followed him in. Chapter 1336. 1336 Chapter 1336 Shopkeeper's son Helin walked in the front. When he entered, he saw Qin Yun's face and felt that it was very familiar. When he took a closer look at Qin Yun's face, he immediately stopped in his tracks. He recognized Qin Yun. He also remembered that face. It is not easy for him to forget it, because not long ago, Qin Yun broke the top-quality immortal bone talisman made by the inscription Profound Sect. When Helin was tending to He Wangqin's injuries, he overheard the group of youngsters talking about Qin Yun and Little Phoenix. At that time, he truly believed that Little Phoenix took advantage of Nangong Shuru's absence to bring a man into the inn, because this kind of thing is very common. But now, after Lin saw Qin Yun, he immediately understood what is going on. He is very certain that Qin Yun is Nangong Shueru's friend. Even if Qin Yun said that he is Nangong Shueru's man, Lin would not doubt it, because in his eyes, Qin Yun is a very mysterious inscription-profound sect. Although he looks young, he is actually senior. Lin was a little afraid of Shimenchong Tian, but Shimen Dazhuang addressed Qin Yun as uncle. Lin is also a person who has seen wind and waves. Seeing that Qin Yun is indifferently drinking tea, he is even more certain that he is a hidden expert. He secretly cursed his son for provoking such a person. I am a reasonable person. If my son is unreasonable, I will not protect him. Lin calmed himself down and said in a clear voice. He doesn't dare to expose Qin Yun's identity because he can see that this kind of expert likes to be low-key. Everyone thought that Lin would rush over and beat Qin Yun up, but he actually started to talk about reason. But when they thought about it, they can understand. After all, this is Yalanin. They have to give Xiang Yalan some face. Venerable Master Lin, do you think that your son is reasonable? Qin Yun indifferently asked. The one who is unreasonable is you. You colluded with that lowly little phoenix and sneaked into Shuru's residence. What reason do you have? And Meijun furiously rebuked. Little Phoenix has followed Shueru for many years, and I am her friend. I happened to pass by Luo Tian City, so she invited me to wait for Shuru's return. What's wrong with that? Qin Yun groaned. Someone like you is worthy to be Shueru's friend? Why don't you take a look at your own cultivation? Judging from his aura, he's at most a first-layer exalted immortal. A man in blue sneered. Little Phoenix snapped. What does it have to do with you what kind of friend Sister Shueru makes? This is Sister Shueru's residence. It's your fault for barging in and attacking her guest. And Meijun was furious. She was about to hit Little Phoenix when Lin released his aura. This young lady has a point. Lin hurriedly said, since this young master is Lady Shueru's friend, why can't he be here? And what evidence do you have to prove that he is not Miss Shueru's friend? And Meijun and the other youngsters were dumbfounded. They suddenly suspected that they had misheard. Lin was actually helping Qin Yun. Senior, but Little Phoenix and this person injured young master he. And Meijun stammered. My son was too reckless. He barged into Lady Shueru's residence and tried to attack her guest. It's normal for him to be repelled by her guest. I am a reasonable person. I will help whoever is reasonable. Lin is doing this to absolve his son. He doesn't want to be targeted by a mysterious inscription sect. And Meijun and the others heard that Venerable Master Lin is very protective of his own son. His son's mouth was crooked from being beaten, but he is still speaking up for the person who beat his son. This caused them to suspect that the Lin before them is a fake. Lin laughed and said, this matter is already very clear. This young master is Lady Shueru's friend. Little Phoenix invited him here to wait for Lady Shueru's return. Yet you came here to cause trouble. This is your fault. Go back. Go back. And Meijun and the others think that Little Phoenix brought a man into Nangong Shueru's residence. So they want to teach Little Phoenix a lesson and make Nangong Shueru thank them. Everyone knows that Nangong Shueru doesn't have the devil mirror, so they can't contact her in a short period of time. However, and Meijun and the others can see that Nangong Shueru can't have a friend with such cultivation. In their eyes, Nangong Shueru is an aloof and remote female inscription pill master. Moreover, she is close to the level of Venerable Master. How can she have a friend with such noble status? Moreover, they are so intimate, they can even live together in the same house. Lin thinks that it is very normal for Qin Yun to be acquainted with an outstanding female inscription master like Nangong Shueru. He also wants to tell these youngsters that Qin Yun is a Xian inscription master. However, he is afraid of arousing Qin Yun's disgust, so he didn't say anything. Qin, this is your fault. Also, if you encounter this kind of thing in the future, don't rush to the front. You're truly careless in making friends. You better distance yourself from these blind friends. Lin's voice is filled with anger as he grabbed He Wangqin. He Wangqin is very dissatisfied with his father helping Qin Yun. But after he was grabbed, He heard his father's sound transmission telling him to cooperate. He is not stupid. He immediately realized that the person before him is an expert. He also recalled how he was sent flying by Qin Yun and realized that Qin Yun is not as simple as send an immortal. Quickly apologize, He Lin shouted in low voice. I am sorry, I was wrong, He Wan Qin said with crooked mouth. You guys have caused enough trouble today. Quickly leave. Qin Yun waved his hand. He Lin hurriedly grabbed He Wan Qin and quickly walked out of the hall, running away in an instant. And Mei Jun and the others can see that He Lin is somewhat afraid of Qin Yun. They suddenly realized that Qin Yun is not a simple person. Just as they were about to retreat, a very arrogant voice suddenly came from outside. Who is causing trouble in Yalan Tavern? Just as the voice finished, a man wearing luxurious red and blue brocade clothes walked in with a folding fan in his hand. He Chioyong has arrived. Shopkeeper, he's son He Chioyong. I have been in Yalan Tavern for so many days, but I have never seen him. I did not expect to finally see him. He is so handsome. I heard shopkeeper, he is Sister Yalan's aunt. Doesn't that mean He Chioyong is Sister Yalan's cousin? This guy is in trouble. Venerable Master He Lin doesn't want to cause trouble in Yalan Tavern. Moreover, he is a reasonable person. That is why he can't do anything to this adulterous couple. He Chioyong will definitely teach them a lesson. He Chioyong heard many people praising him behind his back and became arrogant. He raised his head and looked at Qin Yun. He said coldly, I heard about this matter. This is Yalan Tavern. You will be severely punished for hitting people here. The person I hit already knows his mistake and admitted that it was his fault. Qin Yun said indifferently. He was the one who started the trouble. Didn't you injure He Wan Qin? How could he admit his mistake to you? He Chioyong said coldly. Qin Yun looked at Mei Jun's group and said, I will have to trouble you to call young master He over. And Mei Jun and the others did not take out their magic mirror. They're worried that He Wan Qin and He Lin would come back and stop He Chioyong from teaching Qin Yun a lesson. They're now secretly suspecting that Qin Yun released those wooden vines to hit them. They're still brooding over this matter. Young master, he did not make a mistake. He was seriously injured and was taken away by his father. Grandmaster He Lin said that this is Yalan Tavern. It is not convenient for him to take action. He hopes that young master he can teach this guy a lesson. A blue-dressed woman promptly said. He Chioyong looked at Qin Yun and said with cold smile, I have also seen servants secretly bring people in when a master is not around. People like you are usually beaten up by us and then thrown out. And since you hit young master I can only cripple you and throw you out. At this moment, He Lin's aura arrived. He Lin has returned with He Wan Qin. He Lin coldly looked at the blue-dressed woman and shouted angrily, Which family's girl are you? I, He Lin, have never let He Chioyong teach anyone a lesson. The blue-dressed woman's face immediately turned deathly pale in fright. The injured He Wan Qin hurriedly walked over and kicked the blue-dressed woman. He said angrily, I've already apologized to this young master. Furthermore, I was in the wrong in the first place. Why are you spreading rumors that I'm not in the wrong? Do you want me to apologize to this young master again? The blue-dressed woman has been sent flying. Her face is filled with fear. She crawled up and immediately ran out. He Chioyong respectfully greeted He Lin as Grandmaster. He originally wanted to teach Qin Yun a lesson, but now he is completely confused by the situation. Other people also don't dare to speak carelessly. They suddenly realize that the person they're dealing with today is someone with some strength. He Wan Qin coldly looked at Mei Jun and said with cold groan, And Mei Jun, this young master is clearly Miss Shuiru's friend. Why are you slandering him as a man secretly brought in by Little Phoenix? Mei Jun suddenly realized that she was wrong. This was also because she judged others by herself. It is because Mei Jun felt that if she was Nangong Shiru, it would be impossible for her to have such a close relationship with a first-layer Ascendant Immortal. And Mei Jun is now riding a tiger with no way out. She gritted her teeth and said, Young master this guy attacked people in Yalan Tavern. Shouldn't he be punished? Young master If you don't punish him today, where will the prestige of Yalan Tavern go? He Chiuyong nodded, then looked at Qin Yun with narrowed eyes and said in cold voice, "Didn't you attack people here? If you attack people here, you must be punished no matter what. Who do you think you are? Even if someone wants to punish someone, it is not your turn." Qin Yun expressionlessly said, "Young master," he said it very clearly. He was in the wrong first. I had no choice but to attack him. Don't tell me that I don't even have the right to protect myself inside Yalan Tavern. He Lin doesn't know whether he should attack or not. If he did, he would anger shopkeeper He. He felt that since his son apologized to Qin Yun and was forgiven, there is nothing else for them to do here. He pulled his son and left. Young master, he only wanted to capture you, but you attacked so ruthlessly. He Chiuyong finished speaking, took out his sword, and pointed it at Qin Yun. He shouted in stern voice, "Stand up." He Chiuyong is a 5th layer ascendant immortal. He is an expert sword user. The immortal sword in his hand overflowed with dense and cold sword energy. Chapter 1337. 1337, Chapter 1337. Young Uncle. He Chiuyong arrogantly looked at Qin Yun while holding his cold immortal sword. The immortal sword in his hand trembled and released a burst of cold sword energy, accompanied by a clear and melodious sword cry, causing all the youngsters present to suck in a mouthful of cold air. Force you to attack? I am just punishing the person who broke the rules of the Yalan Tavern, He Chiuyong said with sneer. At this time, and Meijun took out an immortal sword. Its quality is not bad. Moreover, it is very beautiful. The hilt is inlaid with all kinds of beautiful shining gems. Seeing that He Chiuyong wants to teach Qin Yun a lesson, she is extremely happy. She walked forward and said, "Young master He, I will help you." "No need. I will deal with this kind of small character myself." He Chiuyong finished speaking and fiercely stabbed towards Qin Yun's shoulder. Qin Yun suddenly extended 2 fingers and clamped He Chiuyong's cold immortal sword. He Chiuyong is using very strong ice-cold immortal power. After Qin Yun clamped the tip of the sword, he poured an intense flame into it, making the sword both hot and cold. Everyone saw Qin Yun easily clamp He Chiuyong's sword. They can't help but feel alarmed. They suddenly realized that Qin Yun is very strong. You dare to resist me," He Chiuyong furiously said. Because his mother is the shopkeeper of a Yalan Tavern, He Chiuyong feels that he is one of the most powerful people in the Yalan Tavern. Qin Yun suddenly took out the 9th heaven mysterious king saber and vigorously chopped down on He Chiuyong's immortal sword. With a crisp clang sound, a scorching hot aura spread out. He Chiuyong was forced to retreat. What caused him to be alarmed and furious is that his immortal sword has been cut in half. Qin Yun has been sitting on the chair all along. His expression is very calm. This is a high-quality immortal sword." He Chiuyong is extremely pained. He furiously looked at Qin Yun. You dare to destroy my immortal sword." Qin Yun's 9th heaven mysterious king saber was mixed with divine iron powder. Moreover, it was also forged by 9 Sun divine hammer. Its strength is very dreadful. It has very strong destructive power against ordinary immortal tools. "So what if I destroy your immortal sword?" Qin Yun waved his saber like a flash of light. It brought along a burst of violent gale and hacked towards He Chiuyong's arm. He Chiuyong never expected that Qin Yun would be so daring to attack him. He had thought that no one would dare to attack him in the Yalan Inn, so he had let his guard down. Swish! He Chiuyong let out a blood-curdling scream as his arm fell to the ground. Scram! Qin Yun suddenly stood up and pushed his palm towards the more than 10 people in the hall. The angry dragon's sorrowful cry shook the small building. It was the Extinction Dragon palm. Qin Yun struck out with Extinction Dragon 36 palms in an instant. Furthermore, it was imbued with a very powerful earthquake divine ability power. The ferocious, vibrating power seemed like it could tear space apart. Accompanied by a sorrowful dragon roar, The dozen-plus exalted immortals were shaken out of the small building's living room. Qin Yun also concentrated his power on those people, so he did not destroy the building. Those young, exalted immortals thought that because their cultivation is above Qin Yun, they're stronger than him. But now, Qin Yun's palm strike had sent them flying, causing them to vomit blood. And Mei Jun wanted to make a move, but the beautiful long sword in her hand had been shattered into pieces. Qin Yun held 2 fingers together and pointed forward with great force. Rumble. Heaven explosion fingers' power furiously shot out and hit those young people outside the door, causing their heads to bleed. One by one, they fell to the ground and let out miserable screams. Qin Yun kicked the severed arm on the ground towards He Qiuyong, who just crawled up. Bang! He Qiuyong was sent flying by his own severed arm. He hit a stone in the garden and shattered the stone. Little Phoenix is completely dumbstruck. She did not expect that Qin Yun would actually attack. Moreover, he would use very strong power to seriously injure those people. You are finished. He Qiuyong vomited blood and screamed. Someone come quickly! Someone come quickly! I have been injured. Someone is killing people in Yalanin. Qin Yun walked out of the small building and looked at those injured, exalted immortals with cold gaze. He condensed a very strong power on his finger, pointed at He Qiuyong, and said, "You wanted to kill me just now." He Qiuyong did not even finish speaking when Qin Yun's finger trembled and let out a heaven-shaking explosion. He shot out piercing mountains, splitting earth finger, and pierced He Qiuyong's chest. He Qiuyong vomited blood and kept screaming miserably. And Mei Jun and the others saw He Qiuyong's miserable state and immediately became very scared. They did not expect that the man brought by Little Phoenix would be so dreadful. Now they believe that Qin Yun is Nangong, Shueru's friend. You trash, exalted immortals actually have the face to walk around outside. Qin Yun pointed at Mei Jun and coldly groaned. There was a loud bang. Piercing mountains, splitting earth finger shot out again and pierced in Mei Jun's chest. Everyone else has been seriously injured by Qin Yun. They're now lying on the garden outside, unable to resist at all. They saw that in Mei Jun and He Qiuyong's bodies have been pierced and realized that it will be their turn very soon. Boom, boom, boom. Qin Yun unleashed the piercing mountain, splitting earth finger at the group of young ascendant immortals lying on the ground. He unleashed the piercing mountain, splitting earth finger at each of them, piercing their hearts. With such a big commotion happening here, many people gathered around as well. He Lin and He Wangqin heard a series of explosions and hastily returned. They saw that Qin Yun has pierced through the bodies of those young, exalted immortals one by one. Originally, He Qiuyong's strength was not weak, but he was too arrogant. Moreover, he didn't think that anyone would dare to attack him inside the Yalan Tavern. He seriously underestimated Qin Yun's strength. He Qiuyong's immortal sword was cut off by Qin Yun, and his mind suffered severe damage. After all, it was a sword that he refined with his soul for many years. Then his arm was cut off by Qin Yun. Even though his cultivation is higher than Qin Yun's, he is still unable to block this series of attacks. Many people saw that He Qiuyong is covered in blood and became extremely shocked. They all know that He Qiuyong is the shopkeeper's son, and now he has been injured inside the Yalan Tavern. Most shocking thing is that the person who injured He Qiuyong very calmly returned to the small hall and continued drinking tea. He Lin glared at He Wangqin. He Wangqin now knows that his mouth being crooked is already very light. He Qiuyong and the others have their hearts pierced and their whole body heavily injured. Not long after, many ninth-layer exalted immortals of the Yalan Tavern arrived. They are all old women and old men. The first thing they did after they arrived was to treat the injuries of the injured people. The other old men also entered the small hall and looked at Qin Yun, who was drinking tea. When He Lin saw this, he hurriedly brought He Wangqin in to chat with the elders and told them what had happened. Everyone, this is the general situation. Those young people are too arrogant and look down on everyone. That's why they offended Miss Shui, Ru's esteemed guest. I'm afraid this is not something you can handle. Let's wait for the Yalan Tavern's upper echelon to arrive first. He Lin cupped his hands at the old men. The old men are not like those young people. When they saw that Grandmaster Helin was speaking on Qin Yun's behalf and even asked his son to apologize to Qin Yun, they knew that Qin Yun is an expert they cannot afford to offend. They took out the devil mirror and contacted the Yalan Tavern's upper echelon. Little Phoenix is very surprised. She did not expect that Helin would speak on Qin Yun's behalf. After those few old men came in, Qin Yun did not say a word. "Shopkeeper, he has arrived," someone shouted from outside. "Mother!" He Qiuyong, who is being treated, let out a miserable scream. "Shopkeeper, he is a middle-aged woman with ordinary appearance, but very elegant temperament. She is wearing white clothes, and her expression is very cold. She already learned about what happened on the way here. Based on her understanding of Grandmaster Helin, she concluded that Qin Yun has some ability. Moreover, he is truly Nangong Shuru's esteemed guest. Shopkeeper, he entered the hall. Although her expression is calm, she is suppressing her anger because her son has been injured. She knows that Qin Yun is not someone to be trifled with, but she is the shopkeeper of the Yalan Tavern. She has her own connections. She has good relationship with many powerful experts from influential families. Moreover, she is Xiang Yalan's aunt. With Xiang Yalan's protection, she has nothing to fear. You injured my son, and yet you are still drinking tea here. Do you think you are dead for sure? That's why you don't want to run away? Shopkeeper, he is steaming with anger. Shopkeeper, he is a 9th layer upper immortal. When she is angry, she released her aura to cover Qin Yun. Qin Yun also learned that He Qiuyong took his mother's surname, because Shopkeeper, he is very powerful. He wanted to kill me. You should be thanking me for sparing your son's life. Qin Yun faintly smiled and drank a mouthful of tea. Even if I kill everyone outside, you won't be able to do anything to me. Yalan Tavern has never had such an arrogant person like you. Even if you are Nangong Shuru's esteemed guest, I will still kill you today. Shopkeeper, he furiously shouted. Shopkeeper, he furiously took out a large saber. At this time, a clear and cold voice arrived from outside. Who dares to be so arrogant in a Yalan Tavern? Who dares to injure so many people? At this time, a burst of respectful voice came from outside. Greetings, Grandmaster Qinglian. Grandmaster Qinglian, why have you come? That arrogant person is inside. Grandmaster Qinglian, quickly go teach him a lesson. The people outside all respectfully greeted Shimin Qinglian. Even the injured He Qiuyong and in Meijun crawled up with great effort and greeted Shimin Qinglian. Moreover, they let people support them as they followed Shimin Qinglian into the reception hall. Shopkeeper, he also promptly went out to greet Shimin Qinglian. Everyone knows that Shimin Qinglian is a member of Shimin family, a superpower that can stand shoulder to shoulder with immortal families. Because Shimin family has arrived in Luo Tian City, a large group of inscription masters have gathered here. Everyone wants to befriend Shimin family and obtain some clues about how to subdue inscription beasts from them. Shimin Qinglian was wearing a cyan-colored dress. Although her face was slightly round, she looked very cold and arrogant. After she arrived, she saw Qin Yun drinking tea and became very shocked. She promptly yelled, "Uncle, why are you in Sister Shuru's residence? Uncle!" Chapter 1338. Familiar Dragon Totem. Chapter 1338. Familiar Dragon Totem. Qin Yun looks as young as Shimin Qinglian. Being called uncle by Shimin Qinglian is very helpless. Little Phoenix knows Shimin Qinglian because she came to Nangong Shuru's place before. She's also very surprised. How did Qin Yun become Shimin Qinglian's uncle? Shopkeeper, he who originally wanted to flip out at Qin Yun, now her body slightly trembled. She has to be very respectful in front of a little girl like Shimin Qinglian. Now that Shopkeeper, he is Shimin Qinglian's uncle. How could she not kneel down? Shimin Qinglian said with smile. Rumor has it that Little Phoenix brought a wild man into Sister Shuru's place. So the wild man she brought is you. Ha ha ha. He Qiuyong and Meijun, who were brought in by Shimin Qinglian, are so scared that their legs became soft and they almost fell to the ground. It is very normal for Shimin Qinglian's uncle to know Nangong Shuru. They mistakenly thought that Qin Yun is a wild man that little Phoenix hooked up with. Now they understand that Qin Yun is truly Nangong Shuru's friend. Moreover, he is Shimin Qinglian's uncle. They cursed Qin Yun in their hearts. He actually hid his cultivation and made it seem like he is the ascendant immortal. Actually, Qin Yun did not hide his aura at all, because he is a first-layer ascendant immortal. Uncle, what's going on? Why did they start fighting? After Shimin Qinglian came in, she sat on the chair beside Qin Yun. Venerable Master He Lin, I will have to trouble you to tell her what happened. Qin Yun indifferently said, Yes. He Lin very respectfully nodded his head, then once again told Qin Yun what happened. He even used his son as a bad example. The old men and shopkeeper he in the hall were all incomparably shocked. Who is Venerable Master He Lin? He is a very famous Venerable Master of Totem Pavilion in Xian Province. Yet he is acting so servile toward a young man. He Wanqin, who is sitting beside He Lin, is so scared that his legs are trembling. After shopkeeper, he finished listening to He Lin's narration. She respectfully apologized to Qin Yun. She tightly clenched her fists, turned around and glared at He Qiuyong and in Mei Jun. She furiously said, Quickly apologize to this senior. He Qiuyong and in Mei Jun are scared silly. Their bodies are shivering as they apologize to Qin Yun and Little Phoenix. All right, you can all leave. Qin Yun waved his hand. When He Qiuyong saw that Qin Yun did not fuss over it, he quickly bade farewell. Soon, the others walked out. Shimin Qinglian walked out and shouted, My uncle likes peace and quiet, and he is very low profile. If you spread the news about what happened today and affect his reputation, you will be making an enemy out of our Shimin clan. The others hurriedly promised not to say anything more about today's matter. After all, the uncle of the Shimin family was considered a wild man, and this was really too unpleasant to hear. On the way back, He Qiuyong unceasingly cursed his son, nearly provoking an elder of Shimin clan. Now, everyone believes that Qin Yun is a member of the Shimin family. Everyone knew that Shimin clan was a hidden clan and had always been very low-key. So, it was very normal for the experts of Shimin clan to be low-key. After Shimin Qinglian closed the door, she giggled and said, Uncle, when did you get to know elder sister Shuru? You actually have such a good relationship with sister Shui Ru. No wonder you don't like those vulgar women in the brothel. I am just Shui Ru's friend. Qin Yun faintly smiled. Who would believe you? Quickly speak. What is your relationship with sister Shui Ru? Shimin Qinglian is very curious. She pouted and asked. Qin Yun spread out his hands and said, I am truly Shui Ru's friend. Shimin Qinglian looked at Little Phoenix and said, Little Phoenix, tell me, is he sister Shui Ru's boyfriend? Little Phoenix said in low voice, Xiao Yun is sister Shui Ru's good friend. Xiao Yun? Shimin Qinglian frowned and looked at Qin Yun. Are you very young? She suddenly realized that Qin Yun has known Nangong Shuru for a very long time. Even Little Phoenix is very familiar with her. What do you think? Qin Yun said with a smile. Big brother de Zhuang calls you uncle. Even my father calls you uncle. Could it be that you are very young? Shimin Qinglian yelled in shock. Little Phoenix cannot help but giggle. She suddenly sympathized with this Xiao Yun. He is so young and handsome, yet he's being called uncle. I will tell you the truth. I am even younger than your big brother de Zhuang. Qin Yun chuckled and said, There is something wrong with that guy's eyesight. He said that my appearance is ordinary and I look like an uncle, so he decided that I am his uncle. Shimin Qinglian cursed in low voice. That idiot big brother de Zhuang has harmed people greatly. Are you not angry that he called you that? I am very angry, but what can I do? Qin Yun said with bitter smile. Of course we beat him up. Shimin Qinglian stamped her foot and said, You don't know how freakish big brother de Zhuang is. He actually said that my chest is too big, that I am a woman with crooked appearance. He also said that my face is round and looks like a watermelon head. Qin Yun cannot help but burst into laughter. He thought that Shimin de Zhuang was only targeting him. He did not expect that even Shimin family members would be insulted by him. Watermelon Qinglian. Very good. Very good. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Very good, my ass. Ordinary appearance, uncle. Shimin Qinglian cursed with smile. That idiot big brother de Zhuang has caused people to die. He made me and my father misjudge your age. Shimin Qinglian finished speaking, then said with frown, but you are indeed very awesome. You easily taught those guys a lesson and even made that idiot He Lin treat you as a senior. So you should just call me uncle. Qinyan said with smile. Quickly tell me, what is your cultivation? Shimin Qinglian poked Qinyan's chest and asked with frown. Shimin Qinglian and her father Shimin Chongtian were both rescued by Qinyan. Moreover, he was very easily rescued. Therefore, they all believe that Qinyan is a very strong old man. But now she discovered that Qinyan is not old at all. He is still very young. First layer ascendant immortal. Qinyan spread his hands and said with smile, if you don't believe me, ask Little Phoenix. I won't hide it from you. When Little Phoenix first met me, I was still a little half immortal. Are you serious? When did that happen? Little Phoenix was still a baby girl, right? Shimin Qinglian said with disbelief expression. Not long ago. Brother Xiao Yun is very awesome. Little Phoenix said with smile. Qinyan said, Qinglian, quickly tell me about the inner core fragment. Shimin Qinglian said with stern expression. I heard that an inner core fragment appeared in Luo Tian City. It is in the hands of a mysterious person. That mysterious person doesn't want to sell it. He only took it out in a famous restaurant and showed it to other people. Do you know where that mysterious person is? Qin Yun asked. Of course I know. He is still in Luo Tian City. Moreover, he is in that restaurant. I heard that he is a very strong Xian immortal. I sent someone to contact him and see if he is interested in having a chat with our Shimin family. Shimin Qinglian nodded and said. Qinyan said with smile. Qinglian, thank you very much. I hope this matter will be settled. Shimin Qinglian giggled and said, Uncle, if this matter is settled, how will you thank me? Will you repay me with your body? Shimin Qinglian, you must have a lot of men, right? Don't bother a plain-looking uncle like me. Qinyan shook his head and smiled. Although I, Shimin Qinglian, have a lot of connections, there are only a few men who can catch my eye. Uncle, if you marry me, Big Brother Dazhuang will be your big brother. Later you can call him Big Brother. Ha ha ha. Shimin Qinglian very boldly touched Qinyan's face. Qinyan moved her lily-white hand away and said with smile, I already have a wife. Even if you marry me, you will still be a small one. Small, I don't mind. Shimin Qinglian giggled. She is a very bold and unrestrained woman. She is also one of the more special women Qinyan has met. Suddenly, Shimin Qinglian took out the devil mirror. Someone is contacting her. Good news. The mysterious person who possesses the Sun Core said that he can meet us and discuss the price with us. Our Shimin family's banner is very useful. Shimin Qinglian said with smile. Qinyan also admits that many factions want to curry favor with Shimin family now. Should we let him come, or should we go? Qin Yun asked. That mysterious person's temperament is very strange. We should go. My carriage is outside. Let's go. Shimin Qinglian said. Qin Yun said to Little Phoenix, Let's go together. Shimin Qinglian giggled and said, My brother Xiao Yun, are you chasing after Sister Shueru? You are so good to Little Phoenix. Are you trying to make Little Phoenix put in a few good words for you in front of Sister Shueru? Don't talk nonsense. Qin Yun scolded with smile. If you talk nonsense again, I will make Shueru ignore you. All right, I won't talk nonsense. Shimin Qinglian pouted and said with smile, Brother Xiao Yun, I like beauties more than you. Sister Shueru is so beautiful. I don't want to be ignored by her. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, So you like women and not men. That's because men can't attract me. But you are different. Shimin Qinglian brought Qin Yun and Little Phoenix to her carriage. Little Phoenix also knows that Shimin Qinglian is a very special woman, so she doesn't find it strange. Shimin Qinglian brought Qin Yun to a dazzling building. It is more than 200 floors tall. It is called Heavenly Pavilion. It is Luo family's property. After entering Heavenly Pavilion, Shimin Qinglian Qin Yun and Little Phoenix arrived at a private room that is more than 100 floors tall. From here, they can see more than half of Heavenly City. They can also see Yalan Tavern. A fat middle-aged man suddenly walked in and said in low voice, "Miss Qinglian, that mysterious person's temperament is very strange. When you talk to him, don't anger him." Shimin Qinglian nodded. The fat middle-aged man said again, "That mysterious person's price is very high. If you don't want to buy it, it would be best if you don't meet him to avoid angering him." "How high?" Shimin Qinglian asked. "He wants 1 billion immortal jade beads." The middle-aged man said in low voice, "This guy is selling a broken stone at such a high price. Let him in, I want to talk to him." Qin Yun said, "All right." The middle-aged man nodded and then left. Very soon, a person wearing a black mask walked in. Qin Yun suddenly sensed a very familiar aura. He abruptly stood up and looked at the masked man. Shimin Qinglian and Little Phoenix are very surprised because they know that Qin Yun is very calm when facing any situation. Yet now he is incomparably excited. After closing the door, the mysterious person took off his mask. It is a middle-aged man. His entire right face is covered with a golden dragon totem. Although only half of his face can be seen clearly, it is still possible to see that the outline of his face is somewhat similar to Qin Yun's. The middle-aged man with the dragon totem on his face is precisely Qin Yun's father, Qin Long. Chapter 1339. Chapter 1339. Mysterious Mission. Shimin Qinglian is also very shocked to see the dragon totem on Qin Long's face, because she can see that it is a very strong dragon totem. What made her puzzled is that the fat middle-aged man said that Qin Long is a mysterious person. He usually wears a mask, but now he has taken it off. Seeing Qin Yun so excited, Shimin Qinglian can also understand. She believes that Qin Yun is excited because of the dragon totem. As someone from the Shimin family, she is very clear about the significance of the dragon totem. "Who are you?" Qin Long's thick eyebrows are tightly knitted. His pair of sharp eyes that have experienced the vicissitudes of life stared at Qin Yun with vacant expression. Hearing Qin Long's question, although Qin Yun is very shocked in his heart, he can understand. "You know me?" Qin Yun asked. He wants to see his father's reaction. He knows that his father subconsciously has a very familiar feeling towards him. Siekaru is exactly like this. After I came to the Immortal Desolate, I lost a portion of my memories. I only vaguely remember that I just came to the Immortal Desolate not long ago. Qin Long looked at the handsome youth in front of him. His originally serious and perplexed expression gradually softened, and he said, "I think I might know you." Shimin Qinglian is very tactful and promptly left the private room with Little Phoenix. "Please sit." Qin Yun faintly smiled. Because he experienced Siekaru's memory loss and also experienced being forgotten by many friends, Qin Yun is not surprised by this kind of thing. After Qin Long sat down, he said, "I originally would not have taken off my mask, but after seeing you, I couldn't help but want to take off my mask." Qin Yun remembers that the dragon totem on Qin Long's face can be hidden, but now it has appeared. Ling Yun said, "Xiao Yun, the dragon totem on your father's face is very different from before. Previously, it only occupied his cheeks, but now half of his face is covered with it. Moreover, it is golden. It is very complicated." Qin Yun naturally knows that it is caused by the evolution of the dragon totem. "My intuition tells me that you should be someone I know, and our relationship is very good." Qin Long looked at Qin Yun and tried very hard to recall, but he could not remember anything. Qin Yun is very puzzled in his heart because Siekaru and Qin Long were both in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range was located in a mortal land of the Martial Desolate. There was a very mysterious immortal graveyard built inside. The sun fell and destroyed the Martial Desolate land. However, nothing happened to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. At that time, Qin Yun often contacted Siekaru to ask about the situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Now, both Siekaru and Qin Long have arrived in the Immortal Desolate, but they have lost their memories. Qin Yun was very certain that something had happened in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Do you know your name? Qin Yun asked. Qin Long shook his head and looked at Qin Yun. What's my name? This is the question I have been thinking about since I came to the Immortal Desolate. Do you believe me? Asked Qin Yun. I believe you. As for why, I don't know. In short, there is a strong feeling that makes me believe in you, Qin Long said. Your name is Qin Long, Qin Yun said, and looked at Qin Long's reaction. Qin Long lowered his head and fell into deep thought. After a while, he said, I feel something. This really seems to be my name. It's very familiar. What about you? My name is Qin Yun. Qin Yun smiled and asked, Can you remember anything? Qin Long tried very hard to think, but then shook his head. Even if Siekaru and Qin Long tried very hard to remember, it would not harm their souls. It can be seen that the reason why they lost a portion of their memories is different from Xiao Yuelon and the others. Soon after, Qin Yun asked Qin Long many things and discovered that Qin Long's situation is the same as Siekaru's. He lost most of his memories, but he still retained some memories, such as cultivation knowledge or some common sense. You and I are both surnamed Qin, and I am older than you. Are you my junior? Qin Long asked. I am your son. Qin Yun let out a long sigh. Do you believe me? Qin Long is immediately startled. He looked at Qin Yun in a daze. After a long while, he sighed. I believe you. After all, blood is thicker than water. Even if Qin Long lost his memories, he can still feel that the person in front of him has his blood in his body. Qin Yun smiled in a very gratified manner. Dad, I didn't expect to meet you in the Immortal Desolate, and in this kind of situation at that. Soon after, Qin Yun and Qin Long talked about many things. He wanted to make Qin Long recover his memories, but he did not succeed. However, he was able to pull the relationship between father and son closer. Xiao Yun, thank you for telling me so much. After Qin Long finished listening, he sighed with emotion and said in annoyance, Why did I lose my memories? Who did this to me? Dad, after you came to the Immortal Desolate, did you find anything strange? Qin Yun asked. I only know that I came to the Immortal Desolate to do something very important. Qin Long thought for a moment and said, Let's put it this way. When I was in a daze, a voice suddenly told me that I had come to the Immortal Desolate and arranged an important matter for me to do. And I must do it. What is it? Qin Yun thought of Siekaru. After Siekaru became a little girl, she lost most of her memories, but now she wants to do something by herself. I can't say. I will die if I say it. Qin Long shook his head and said, In short, I feel that only by completing that matter can I recover my memories. After speaking, he took out a sun core fragment and said, Xiao Yun, did you want this thing? This sun core fragment is the same as the one Xian Tiger King gave him. This is very important to me. Dad, where did you get it? Qin Yun asked. I dug it out from a divine mountain. When I passed by a divine mountain, I felt that there was something inside, so I climbed the mountain and dug it out. Qin Long said with a smile, This is for you. Qin Yun is very astonished. His father actually has the ability to sense the sun core fragment. Dad, why do you need so many immortal jade beads? Qin Yun asked again, Is it related to completing that matter? Qin Long nodded. I need a lot of immortal jade beads. As for what I need them for, I can't say. If I say it, I will die. Take these 2 golden grapes and go to Earth State to find Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. I will make him give you the immortal jade beads. Qin Yun took out 2 golden grapes and handed them over to Qin Long. Are these golden grapes? I saw them on the magic mirror. I didn't expect Xiao Yun to be that lion head. Qin Long is very surprised. He also knows that Qin Yun was almost killed. He said very angrily, That great desert sacred city's city lord wants to kill you? This bastard better not leave the immortal Xian desert, otherwise I'll kill him. Dad, roughly how many immortal jade beads do you lack? Qin Yun can feel his father's concern and is very happy. I need about 5 billion. These 2 golden grapes can be sold for at least 1 billion, right? Qin Long asked. Go find Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror and give him these 2 golden grapes. I will make him give you 5 billion immortal jade beads. Qin Yun is confident that he can make immortal Emperor Devil Mirror bleed. He also wants to help his father complete that mysterious mission. Only by doing so can his father recover his memories. Qin Yun let Mo come out. Previously, Mo recorded the dragon totem on Qin Long's face. But now, after she came out, she is very puzzled. Mo, what's wrong? Qin Yun asked. Big brother, the totem on Uncle's face is not an ordinary dragon totem. I can't record it. Mo said in a low voice. That is a god-level dragon totem. With my current strength, I can't record it. Furthermore, I can't hide the dragon totem under my skin. Qin Yun's heart is greatly shaken. The totem on Qin Long's face has actually evolved into a god-level dragon totem. It is very obvious that he has experienced something. Now, he knows why his father lost most of his memories. It is extremely likely that he has a god-level dragon totem. That's why he suffered heavenly punishment. It doesn't matter. I just wear a mask. Qin Long smiled and then put on his mask. Qin Yun immediately refined a devil mirror for Qin Long so that he can communicate secretly in the future. It can prevent immortal Emperor Devil Mirror from eavesdropping. Qin Yun sent Qin Long out of the heavenly pavilion and told him to quickly go to Earth State to find immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror and the other immortal emperors are surrounding the sun, suppressing divine arrow in Earth State. They won't leave for a while. Qin Yun took out a golden devil mirror and borrowed the Netherworld Great Emperor's name to send a voice transmission to Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. He, Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror, received Qin Long and used 5 billion immortal jade beads to buy Qin Long's 2 golden grapes. When Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror received this news, his heart is dripping blood. Because it is a message from Netherworld Great Emperor, he can only do as he is told. Uncle Netherworld, is Master Fuyan with you? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror very nervously asked. He is with me, seriously injured, temporarily unconscious. Qin Yun laughed in his heart and sent a message. He gave me the golden grapes. I urgently need immortal jade beads, so help me. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very happy to help. He feels that by helping Netherworld Great Emperor will owe him a favor. This kind of favor from a big shot is very valuable. After arranging Qin Long's matter, Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and contacted Sekiru. Sekiru only said that she is very safe and did not say anything else. Maybe she is the same as Qin Long. Go to do that secret matter. Qin Yun is sitting inside Shimin Qinglian's carriage. Although he is very happy in his heart, he is secretly worried about Sekiru and Qin Long. He is afraid that they will be in danger while doing that mysterious matter. Uncle, who is that person? The dragon totem on his face is very awesome. Shimin Qinglian curiously asked. My friend, Qin Yun sighed. Because of some reason, his soul was damaged and he lost his memory. Shimin Qinglian said with smile, Uncle, you are really awesome. You actually know this kind of awesome, mysterious person. At this time, she took out the devil mirror and received a message. She very happily said, Very good, a famous great beauty from Guanghan Palace has arrived. She is at Yalanin. Which famous great beauty? Qin Yun curiously asked. Xiao Yuelan. I wanted to meet her for a long time. She is a peerless ice mountain great beauty. I like this kind of ice-cold great beauty the most. Ha ha ha. I want to go flirt with her. Shimin Qinglian very happily said. Chapter 1340. Great Altar Little Phoenix knows that Qin Yun knows Xiao Yuelan and their relationship is very good. She said in low voice, I heard that apart from Sister Yuelan, there are other disciples from Guanghan Palace. Shimin Qinglian nodded and said, I'll go ask. She took out the magic mirror and asked about the situation of the other disciples of the Moon Palace. Who else? Qin Yun asked. He also wanted to know. I'm not too sure. Currently, only Xiao Yuelan is in the Yalan Inn. Shimin Qinglian lightly groaned. My guess is that there are other female disciples from Guanghan Palace who came. They might be inscription masters, but they all went to see my grandmother. Shimin Qinglian's grandmother was Miss Gao. Nangong Shuru also went to see her. Qinglian, is your grandmother from the inscription mysterious sect? Qinglian asked. Well, I think so. I'm not too sure either. I don't really like her. Shimin Qinglian puffed up his cheeks and said, Every time I see her, she always says that I'm not working hard enough and looks down on me. Qinglian said with smile, Maybe it is because you are not hard-working enough. Shimin Qinglian curled her lips and said, How am I not working hard enough? It's already very good that I'm a master with my current cultivation. Have you heard of Yuzhuakuan? This idiot's cultivation is higher than mine, but his level of inscription is lower than mine. Yuzhuakuan is a 9th stage exalted immortal, one of the 10 great exalted immortals. His level of inscription is indeed low. The main reason is because he doesn't put much effort into it. This Yuzhuakuan should change his name to Greenzhuakuan. Shimin Qinglian giggled. Although the information about him has been deleted from the magic mirror, I've still heard a lot about him. Shimin Qinglian's cultivation base is not very high among ascendant immortals. However, his level in inscription is pretty good. Therefore, he is an honored guest of Yalan Tavern. Qinglian doesn't want to blindly wander around with her, so he directly returned to Nangong Shuru's small building. As for Shimin Qinglian, he went to find Xiao Yuelan. Qinglian returned to the small building and took out the magic mirror to ask about Xiao Yuelan's location. Xiao Yuelan replied that she is in the main building of the Yalan Inn with Xiang Yalan. What surprised Qinglian was that Xiang Yalan was a disciple of the Moon Palace. Furthermore, she was a very important disciple. Many people didn't know about this. Xiao Yuelan also trusted Qinglian, so she told Qinglian about this matter. Inside Nangong Shuru's small house, Qinglian entered a secret room, took out the sun core fragment, and carefully studied it. How did the sun's core form? Can you refine it? Qinglian used his powerful mental power to probe and only sensed a very weak energy fluctuation. He did not discover anything else. Because the core fragment is very precious, Qinglian did not dare to act recklessly. If it was damaged, he would not know where to find it. This can revive my 9-sun divine hammer for a short period of time. Qinglian stored the fragment, then closed his eyes and began cultivating. The one-thought Imperial Heaven technique was indeed a very good technique. When Qinglian cultivated this technique, his mental power increased very quickly, and it also increased Nether Sun's cultivation. There is a little lion circling around his Nether Sun. It is condensed from heavenly lion totem runes. There are 9 levels to the upper immortal realm. Will I be able to cultivate 9 different things? Qinglian was curious. He felt that he was about to break through. He devoured Blue Snake's gallbladder and Pan Shengshir's energy. He also ate Blue Snake's bones. Although he consumed a lot of energy before, if he can refine them later, he will be able to obtain a lot of energy. Blue Snake's bones are very difficult to refine. It will take some time. Ling Yun said, She is very clear about the things stored inside the Nether Sun. That is understandable. After all, Blue Snake is a Xian immortal beast. Qinglian nodded. Xiao Yun, you should be about to break through to 2nd level upper immortal realm. You should properly enter seclusion for the next few days. Don't do anything else. Ling Yun suddenly said. Qinglian took out the devil mirror and told Little Phoenix about the crucial point of his breakthrough. After informing Little Phoenix, Qinglian sealed the secret room and began refining the things inside. The Nether Sun Blue Snake's gallbladder contains very rich energy. Moreover, it is very strong immortal power. Originally, this kind of savage beast's immortal power is very difficult to refine. But as long as Nether Sun is strong enough, it can break down anything and turn it into the purest energy. The energy inside the snake's gallbladder is being compressed by the mysterious Nether Sun and gushing out a very strong energy. Qinglian can also see that the little lion is moving around the Nether Sun and absorbing energy from the Nether Sun. The immortal power inside the Nether Sun is evolving. It will break through very soon. Ling Yun said with smile, The little lion should also change along with the immortal power inside the nether sun becoming stronger, right? Just as Ling Yun said, the little lion is gradually changing. Qin Yun can clearly feel that if he uses heavenly lion totem technique, his power will become even stronger. The little lion beside the nether sun did not become bigger. Instead, some totem runes appeared on its body. After careful observation, Qin Yun discovered that these totem runes are the same as the heavenly lion totem he mastered. They are all immortal tier heavenly lion totem. After 2 days of seclusion, Qin Yun's nether sun's immortal power suddenly rushed out and attacked his limbs and bones. Feeling the immortal power of second-level upper immortal realm filling his body, Qin Yun is very happy in his heart. His breakthrough speed is faster than he expected. I did not eat divine fruit this time. I also did not use the immortal pill Shuiru gave me. Ling Yun said with charming smile. It seems like you will reach 9th layer upper immortal very soon. At that time, you can go to Great Desert Sacred City. Qin Yun believes that once he reaches 9th layer upper immortal cultivation, he will be able to defeat 9th layer upper immortals of Sacred Desolate. He must avenge the destruction of Star Traveling Pagoda. Even if he kills Qiao Tianxiu, the master of Great Desert Sacred City, it will not be enough to dispel the hatred in his heart. Only by destroying the sun altar can he truly avenge his great hatred. There must be many sun core fragments inside the sun altar. I must obtain them. Qin Yun now knows that not every divine mountain has a sun core fragment. One can only find them by luck. If he has enough sun core fragments, he can use 9 sun divine hammer for a long time. Before, he did not have the confidence to destroy the sun altar. But now that he has a sun core fragment, he can revive 9 sun divine hammer for a short period of time. Maybe he can break open the sun altar. After breaking through, Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and received news from Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yun, we are in Great Heaven Mountain Range. Old Luo, De Zhuang, and others have made a great discovery in Great Heaven Mountain Range. Xiao Yuelon sent a message to Qin Yun. She knows that Qin Yun is going into seclusion, so she did not disturb him. Qin Yun immediately contacted Luo Weizhuang and asked, Old Luo, what great discovery did you make in Great Heaven Mountain Range? There's an altar here. Luo Weizhuang said, it is a very big altar. It is many times bigger than the sun altar. From the distance, it looks like a 10,000-meter tall mountain. So long as we remove the soil and rocks, we can see the true appearance of the altar. All right, I will go take a look as soon as possible. Qin Yun is also very amazed and asked, how many layers is the altar? That altar is very strange. There are no steps. It is conical, and there is a several 100-meter wide platform at the top. Luo Weizhuang said, you will know when you come take a look. Information regarding this altar has been sealed by the Devil Mirror. Some great faction must have noticed it. Qin Yun continued looking at the Devil Mirror. Shimin Qinglian, Little Phoenix, and Little Black Donkey have all sent him messages in the last 2 days. Nangon Shiru has returned to Great Heaven Mountain Range with Little Phoenix. They must also be going for the altar. Shimin Qinglian and her father also went together. Qin Yun contacted Little Black Donkey and asked, Xiaohei, did you hear about the altar inside Great Heaven Mountain Range? I did. That altar is not simple. Quickly go take a look and tell me in detail. Little Black Donkey said, that altar must have suddenly had some movement. That is why it was discovered. I guess it was awakened by other sun altars. The altar is as big as a mountain. Moreover, it is disguised as a mountain. Because of a sudden movement, the soil and rocks outside the altar fell down. That is why it was discovered. Soon after, Qin Yun contacted Xian Rujing and asked her about the altar. I don't know, but you must tell me everything about the altar. Xian Rujing is also very concerned about the altar. She is still unable to leave the matter of sun-suppressing divine arrow. Finally, Qin Yun can only contact Evil God. Although Evil God is an unreliable trash god, he is very good at flattering and worshipping a very awesome big brother. After Qin Yin informed Evil God about this matter, Evil God also doesn't know. However, he said that he will immediately inquire about it. He is just like Xian Rujing and Little Black Donkey. They're all very concerned about the altar. He took out the soul-chasing talisman and confirmed Xiao Yuelan's location. He collected Xiao Yuelan's aura and soul power before, so the soul-chasing talisman can lead him to Xiao Yuelan. Then he took out a compass and looked at it. The compass is pointing in Xiao Yuelan's direction. This compass is used to find the floating cloud heavenly seal. The compass is pointing in the same direction as Yuelan. It can't be a coincidence, right? Qin Yin is somewhat amazed. He cannot help but associate the matter of the floating cloud heavenly seal with the altar. Let's go take a look and you will know. Ling Yuner said with smile. If this is the case, you will be able to take back the floating cloud heavenly seal very quickly. Floating cloud heavenly seal is a very dreadful thing. As for what kind of ability it has, Qin Yin doesn't know. After Qin Yin left Yalan Tavern in Luo Tian City, he flew towards Luo Tian Mountain Range. Brother Qin, be careful when you come to Luo Tian Mountain Range. Many great factions people are coming over. Luo Weizhuang sent message to Qin Yin. Qin Yin is flying very cautiously in the sky while concealing himself. However, he was still swept by several mental power from far away. Someone is using a formidable probing immortal tool to scan the sky. It is safer to go down, Ling Yuner said. Qin Yin can only quickly descend to the ground and then follow profound immortal river towards Luo Tian Mountain Range. Last time he only saved Shimen Qinglian and Shimen Chongtian outside of Luo Tian Mountain Range. This time he wants to enter the depths. After entering the mountain range outside of Luo Tian Mountain Range, it is already late at night. Qin Yin is on a mountain peak. He took out the compass and looked at it. He discovered that the needle of the compass is flickering with weak light rays. Chapter 1341. Magic Rune Weapon. Qin Yin originally thought that the floating cloud heavenly seal was hidden in the immortal desolate's Earth Province or Heaven Province. He never expected to encounter it here. Could the floating cloud heavenly seal from my previous life be hidden inside the massive altar? Qin Yin was secretly excited when he thought of this matter. If that was the case, then he must have entered the giant altar a long time ago in his previous life, which meant that the path had already been paved for him. Previously, because of his previous life's arrangements, he was able to easily enter Floating Cloud City. Qin Yin rested for a while before continuing his journey. He walked down the mountain and ran through the forest. After crossing a few mountains, Qin Yin suddenly heard voices in the pitch-black mountain forest. Now that many people have entered the heavenly mountain range, it is normal to meet people here. Furthermore, Qin Yin is not the first batch of people to enter. He originally ignored the voices, but he heard someone say, "This person has a flower totem on him." Those fellows from Totem Pavilion said that this kind of flower totem is very rare and only exists in legends. If our devil immortal heavenly gate can obtain a flower totem, we can definitely let the devil immortal great emperor show off in front of the immortal desolate great emperor. What a surprise. I only wanted to explore the huge altar, but I actually met a man with totem carvings. Hee hee. When Qin Yin heard that they are from the devil immortal heavenly gate, he immediately decided to go over and take a look. He quickly changed direction and carefully moved towards that direction. What alarmed Qin Yin was that the two people who spoke were Xian immortals. Furthermore, they were disciples of the devil immortal heavenly gate. They were definitely very strong. Right now, they were using the magic mirror to send messages to others. They were most likely reporting this matter. Qin Yin is hiding in the dark. He is very careful. He also saw the person with the flower totem. It is a black-clothed masked man. He is lying on the ground, gasping for breath. Several black thorns have pierced into his chest. The black-clothed masked man moved, but the devil immortal heavenly gate middle-aged disciple stepped on his stomach. If you move again, the poison in your body will spread even faster. The middle-aged man sneered. If you want to blame something, blame your bad luck for running into us on the road. Although we have no enmity with you, you have a totem on you, so we can only snatch it. That's right. Who asked you to have totem patterns on your body? Ha ha! This is all your fault. Another middle-aged man laughed loudly. Qin Yun cursed the devil immortal heavenly gates people in his heart. They are actually so shameless. He has already decided to save the black, clothed masked man. Furthermore, he wants to stop the devil immortal heavenly gate from obtaining the flower totem. He hid in the hollow of a tree and took out the golden magic mirror. He used the golden magic mirror to sense the nearby magic mirrors, and then intercepted the information sent by the devil immortal heavenly gate's upper echelon. Scoundrel of the devil immortal heavenly gate, you will all die a horrible death. The black-clothed masked man suddenly spoke. Furthermore, it was a woman's voice. Aya, it's actually a woman. If we had known it was a woman, we wouldn't have been so heavy-handed. We would have played with her for a while. A middle-aged man laughed. Qin Yun used his understanding of the Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation and intercepted the information sent by the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates upper echelons. He can impersonate the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates upper echelons and fake orders. He is now pretending to be one of the higher-ups of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. He is on the Golden Magic Mirror and send a message to the middle-aged man's Magic Mirror. I will send people to take away the totem rune. The person sent is from the mysterious inscription sect. You guys be more respectful. He will arrive very soon. His name is Yunfei. The middle-aged man who is stepping on a masked woman looked at the magic mirror and shouted in alarm. Six, brother, the higher-ups actually sent the mysterious inscription sect over. When the time comes, we must properly curry favor with this senior. Qin Yun put on a mask filled with runes, then used his sacred eye to rush over. In the blink of an eye, he arrived beside the middle-aged man and said in cold voice, "Take your foot away." The two middle-aged men originally wanted to take action, but they thought that it might be the mysterious inscription sect. "Who are you, sire?" one middle-aged man asked. "Yunfei." "What? Didn't old Wang greet you?" Qin Yun said coldly. After the two middle-aged men confirmed that the person who arrived is the mysterious inscription sect, they respectfully saluted and greeted. Qin Yun looked at the black-clothed masked woman lying on the ground and said to the two middle-aged men, "You two quickly go to the large altar to investigate. There are a large number of treasures inside the large altar. We cannot let other people go there first. I will be there immediately." After the two middle-aged men heard this, they promptly took their leave and rushed towards the large altar. Qin Yun was extremely nervous just now. Luckily, he infiltrated the formation foundation of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and impersonated Old Wang from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate to send a message to the two middle-aged men. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate's mysterious inscription sect? I want you to accompany me in death. The black-clothed masked woman said with sneer. I am not from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. I came to save you. I sent those two away. Qin Yun promptly said, "Hey, those two bastards are not idiots. How can you deceive them? You want to pretend to get close to me? You want to obtain my flower totem?" The black-clothed masked woman said in cold voice, "I have been poisoned. I am already dead. You will accompany me in death." While speaking, a very strong energy rushed out of the black-clothed masked woman's body. She wants to self-destruct. Don't act recklessly. Qin Yun lost his head out of fear. He promptly used his strongest mental power attack and attacked the black-clothed masked woman's head. The black-clothed masked woman also immediately fainted. Qin Yun carried the woman and quickly left this place because the two Xian immortals have returned. He used mysterious penetration divine ability and drilled into the ground. Then he left the ground and quickly rushed towards a certain direction. After daybreak, Qin Yun arrived at the belly of a huge mountain. The interior of this huge mountain is filled with stiff rocks. Qin Yun carved out a stone room inside the belly of the mountain and took out many light-emitting stones to illuminate it. He took out a clean bed and placed the black-clothed masked woman on it. Then he took off the woman's mask. The woman is currently asleep. Being poisoned and seriously injured caused her skin to turn black. However, it can still be seen that her facial outline is extremely beautiful. If she were to restore her original appearance, she would definitely be a very beautiful woman. Suddenly, the woman slowly opened her eyes and felt a splitting headache. Devil, immortal, heavenly gates, evil disciple. I want to perish together with you. The woman's voice is very weak as she shouted in a low voice. If you want to die, I will leave immediately. I saved you because I don't want the devil, immortal, heavenly gate to obtain your flower totem. Qin Yun unhappily said, in order to save you, I went to that huge altar even later than others. You are the scoundrel of the devil, immortal, heavenly gate. Stop pretending. The woman's eyes are filled with incomparable hatred. Qin Yun took off his mask and looked at the black-faced woman. He said, you are waiting here for death, waiting for the poison to take effect. Goodbye. After he finished speaking, he used mysterious penetration divine ability and drilled into a wall. Wait, the woman lightly shouted. Qin Yun drilled out of the wall and said with cold snort, what? Do you want to perish together with me? Are you really not from the devil, immortal, heavenly gate? The woman can also see that the person in front of her has no malice toward her. Otherwise, he would have already attacked her while she was unconscious. Of course I am not. I'm only pretending to be a high-ranking member of the devil, immortal, heavenly gate and send a message to those two idiots, making them think that I am from the inscription profound sect. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, believe it or not. If you believe me, then obediently lie down. I will help you cure your poison. How did you do it? The structure of the devil mirror is so complicated. You can pretend to be a high-ranking member and send them a message. The woman doesn't believe him, and she has also gradually recovered. Qin Yun can see that the woman is pretending to talk to him. She is actually recovering her strength. You want to self-destruct? Qin Yun said with frown. I want self-destruct. I just want to recover some strength. The woman said in low voice. You are a Xian immortal. If you recover your strength, I won't be able to defeat you. Qin Yun can see through the woman's cultivation. Quickly help me remove the poison stingers from my body. The stingers are filled with extreme poison. The woman recovered some strength and said. Qin Yun can see that this woman is guarding against him. He thought about it and decided to take the risk to save this woman. If he can establish a good relationship with her, he can let him obtain the flower totem on her body. Don't hit me. I am really not a bad person. Qin Yun said. The woman took out a talisman and threw it to Qin Yun. She said, this is a soul contract talisman. Sign a soul contract with me and promise not to harm me. After Qin Yun signed, he returned the soul contract talisman to the woman. The woman is now a lot more relieved. Qin Yun walked over and looked at the poison stingers. He said with a frown, what a vicious thing. Is this an immortal talisman tool? It's not an immortal talisman tool. It's a devil talisman tool. The woman closed her eyes. She is very angry. She is lying on the ground. Her chest has been pierced by several long black stingers. They're emitting black gas and pierced very deeply. Devil talisman tools contain extreme poison. The runes carved on them contain blood spirit power. They all contain poison. The woman said with a frown, you don't understand these? You are not an inscription master, yet you dare to impersonate the devil, immortal, heavenly gates, inscription, mysterious sect. Of course I am. It's just that I have never heard of these things. Qin Yun curled his lips and asked, are you also an inscription master? What's your name? Of course I am an inscription master. I can't tell you my name. Quickly help me take out the poison stingers. Be careful. Don't hurt yourself. The woman saw Qin Yun's blank expression and helplessly sighed. I also don't expect you to detoxify me. Just help me take out the poison stingers and then help me contact my fellow sect members. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, don't look down on people. After he finished speaking, he used his mental power to lock onto the poison stingers. Then he took out the floating cloud divine needle and fiddled with the runes inside the poison stingers. He destroyed the Devil Talisman Tool's operation and stopped the transmission of poison power. He also prevented the Devil Talisman Tool from exploding. After he finished, he released his formidable mental power and pulled out the poison stingers. What did you do just now? You broke the Devil Talisman Tool? The woman said in shock. Your poison is very serious, but I can cure it. Qin Yun said indifferently. The Devil Talisman Tool entered your body and branded a poisonous evil spirit rune on your body. If you don't get rid of this evil spirit rune, you won't be able to expel the poison. Chapter 1342. 1342 Chapter 1342 Flower Totem Qin Yun recalled Zi Qingsheng. Back then, Zi Qingsheng was also hit by a talisman tool, and her body was branded with runes. She needed to take off her clothes to remove them. And this woman before him is also in the same situation. Seeing Qin Yun's expression, the woman knows what he wants to do. Don't worry, I don't have any evil intentions. I signed a soul contract before, I won't plot against you. What's more, you are now covered in poison. If I plot against you, wouldn't that be courting death? Qin Yun said coldly. Don't think of me as a dirty person. The woman is speechless. Her spirited and beautiful eyes are fiercely glaring at Qin Yun. Hey, don't look at me like that. Forget it, you take care of yourself. I am in a hurry to explore the altar. To save you, I slowed down a lot. If some treasure appears, it will be a big loss. Qin Yun said unhappily and then wanted to leave through the wall. Wait, sign a soul contract with me. You won't tell anyone about this. The woman shouted again. If I save you, what benefits will you give me? I saved you out of kindness, but you made me sign a soul contract twice. This is very hurtful, you know? Qin Yun suddenly said. The woman clenched her teeth and said, Of course I know, but isn't there no other way? If you were me, wouldn't you be more cautious? All right, I am not saving you now. I am making a deal with you. This way both of us will feel better. I don't think you want to owe me, right? Qin Yun said. What benefits do you want? The woman asked. Release the flower totem. Let me look at it for 2 hours. Qin Yun said. 2 hours? What are you doing? It won't work in such a short time. The woman said. Don't tell me you want to let me look at it for a longer time. I'm also in a hurry. I want to go to the altar. Qin Yun curled his lips and said. All right, let's sign a soul contract. The woman thought about it and decided to cooperate with Qin Yun. But the condition is that you must help me detoxify the poison. Finally, Qin Yun signed a soul contract with the woman. After the woman recovered some of her strength, she slowly took off her clothes. Qin Yun said that he wanted to help, but she refused and insisted on taking off her clothes herself. The woman's body has already turned black. Moreover, her upper body is covered with black and red evil devil runes. Especially the area near those poisonous thorns. Her injuries are very serious. Her skin and flesh are rotting. After Qin Yun saw this, he infused the floating cloud divine needle with blood soul power and used extinction spirit eye to carefully observe the evil devil runes. Based on his understanding of evil spirit runes, he quickly found the key to deciphering this set of evil spirit runes. He was very serious, and the woman could see that. She was secretly shocked by the man's ability. Very quickly, those evil spirit runes disappeared. Qin Yun took out a pill and handed it to the woman. He said, Eat this pill and you won't feel any pain. Next, I will use a more crude method to suck out the poison in your body. At this moment, he also took out some clothes and covered the woman's body. The woman did as she was told and ate the pill. That was a senseless, immortal pill. After eating it, one would not feel pain for a period of time. Qin Yun placed his hand on the wound on the woman's heart and said, I will begin. He first used his formidable mental power and infused it into the woman's body to lock the poison. Then he used Nether Sun to suck out all the poison. This process also requires the woman's cooperation. After the poison in the woman's body was sucked out, the black gas on her face gradually dissipated. A fragrant jade tender and peerlessly beautiful face appeared. This beautiful appearance caused Qin Yun to sigh in admiration in his heart. "We have an agreement." Qin Yun looked at the woman's bright and beautiful eyes and said with a smile, "Don't be lazy. We signed a soul contract." The woman recovered very quickly. Ru Yan's willowy eyebrows are slightly knitted. She lightly bit her cherry lips and said with a sigh, "I will do as I say. Don't tell anyone about this." As she spoke, she took off the clothes covering her body. The holes on her upper body had already recovered, and her white, jade-like skin was flawless. Soon, many totem patterns appeared on the skin of her upper body. Qin Yun finally understood why the woman felt so embarrassed. It turns out that when the flower totem is revealed, it is actually like this. Qin Yun quickly turned around and no longer looked at the woman's body. "What is it? Didn't you want to look at the flower totem on my body for 2 hours? Don't waste time." The woman frowned and lightly snorted. "I was poisoned just now, and my entire body turned black and rotten. It is indeed not good to look at. But now that I've recovered, don't you like to look? I don't have to look at it. Besides, there's nothing to look at." Qin Yun spoke and released MOMO to record the flower totem. When the woman saw the little fairy appear, she was immediately alarmed. She looked at Qin Yun, who has his back facing her, and shouted in shock, "Is this a magical fairy? Don't ask too much." Qin Yun did not say anything. MOMO is very polite. She first greeted her sister and then began to record the flower totem. "It's a Saint Tier flower totem. I can remember it," MOMO said happily. The woman stared at the cute little fairy. Her beautiful eyes flickered. Her eyes are filled with envy. She wished that she could have such a magical fairy. She bit her lips and looked at Qin Yun's broad and thick back. She suddenly felt that this person is very mysterious. Although his cultivation is not high, he is very capable. Not only can he cure that kind of poison, he even has a magical fairy. Now that she thought about it carefully, she also felt that it was not easy for Qin Yun to save her. One must know that those two disciples of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are both powerful Xian immortals, and Qin Yun is only an exalted immortal. For an exalted immortal to have the guts to save someone from the ferocious Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate disciples, this is already very impressive. "Thank you," the woman said softly. "No need to thank me. This is just a transaction," Qin Yun said indifferently. At this moment, he also smelled a strange fragrance. "Elder sister, it smells so good. Is the flower totem blooming?" Mo's little nose wrinkled as she greedily sucked in the rare flower fragrance. When elder sister is happy, the flower totem will release flower fragrance. "I also saw you. That's why I'm very happy." The woman smiled lightly. "Cute little fairy, are you willing to follow elder sister?" "Elder sister is much better than that big brother." Qin Yun cursed this damned woman in his heart. She actually wants to poach his woman. "Big brother is very good to me. Back then, big brother saved me. I want to repay him and follow him for the rest of my life," MOMO said very seriously. Very quickly, MO memorized the flower totem on the woman's body and flew back to Qin Yun's side very happily. The woman took out a set of black clothes and put them on. She is very surprised that Qin Yun did not look at the flower totem on her body without any scruples. She can indeed see that Qin Yun has no interest in her at all. After Qin Yun put away MOMO, he said, "Have you recovered?" "I've recovered. Will you take me out?" The woman said. "Let's go." Qin Yun put on his mask and grabbed the woman's wrist. He used mysterious penetration divine ability and left the belly of the mountain. After leaving, the woman put on her mask and asked, "What's your name?" "What about you?" Qin Yun asked. "I won't tell you." The woman lightly snorted and said, "In case you talk nonsense about me. You have so many methods. Maybe you can break the soul contract. If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. Anyway, I know so many women. It doesn't matter if I don't know you. Goodbye." After Qin Yun finished speaking, he used passing shadow extinction breath step and disappeared in a blink of an eye. The woman lightly stamped her feet and said in a low voice, "This guy, a little immortal, actually has such a temper." Qin Yun temporarily doesn't know what use the flower totem has. However, He feels that he should collect it first. Maybe he will be able to use it in the future. At noon, Qinyan finally saw the huge altar in the distance. It is completely white and looks like an iceberg. The mountain rocks at the top of the huge altar slid down, revealing the 1 to 2,000 meter tall white altar body. One can also see the flat, large platform at the top. And the bottom of the huge altar is still wrapped with many mountain rocks. They are all very thick mountain rocks. Qinyan is not too far from the huge altar. He took out the compass and looked at it. He discovered that the light on the compass's pointer is even stronger. The floating cloud heavenly seal is just ahead. Qinyan is now finally sure that the floating cloud heavenly seal is related to the huge altar. He took out the devil mirror and contacted Luo Weizhuang and others to understand the situation of the huge altar. The people who first arrived here don't know much about the huge altar. They only know that there is a set of very simple runes on the platform at the top of the huge altar. Qinyan is sitting on a rock halfway up a mountain. He took out the Lion King cannon and looked at the top of the altar. He discovered that there are many people above the altar. All of them are floating in the sky, looking at the runes on the altar. Yuelon, can you use mysterious penetration divine ability to enter the altar? Qinyan asked. I can. Xiao Yuelon's reply caused Qinyan to be very shocked. Then why don't you go in? Qinyan promptly asked. I am waiting for you. I want to go in with you. I will go find you now. Xiao Yuelon said. Xiao Yuelon also has a soul-chasing talisman. It was given to her by Qinyan before. Not long after, Qinyan saw Xiao Yuelon, who is wearing white blue tight-fitting clothes, flying over. Her hair is tied up in a ponytail. She is wearing a white mask. Her attire is very simple and capable. She can be very nimble during a fierce battle. Yuelon, are you not with Shueru? Qinyan asked. Sister Shuru and others are studying the runes up there. They said that they have made a great discovery. Let's go inside the altar and take a look first. Xiao Yuelon said. Qinyan said with smile. Yuelon, why do you only want to enter the altar with me? Xiao Yuelon lightly groaned and said. What? Don't tell me you want me to call other people. All right, I will call Da Zhuang and the others. Don't. The two of us are enough. Don't call other people. Qinyan pulled Xiao Yuelon's hand and said with mischievous smile. Suddenly, Xiao Yuelon sniffed Qinyan's body and said with frown, Why do you have Sister Yalin's unique fragrance on your body? Sister Yalin's fragrance? Qinyan suddenly recalled the woman with the sacred tear flower totem. That woman is actually the Yalin's lady boss, Xiang Yalin. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.